What's up, baby? And welcome to the Arthur Moats Experience. You already know it's Arthur Moats, baby, and you know what time it is. Got a fun one, like always, planned ahead, man. Got to talk some free agent interest. We also had some, import-exports goods happening from a Steelers perspective, man. Brought a new guy to the family, so obviously we will talk about him. This very, very tall gentleman, by the way. Like I said, man, got some upcoming news about at least one of our in-house free agents. Still waiting to get more info on the rest of the gang in the sense of, all right, who's coming back? Russ, Fields, Russ, Naj, what's happening, right? So we're going to find out all of that, hopefully sooner rather than later. But like I said, man, at 9 o'clock, man, the homie TG, she'll be hopping on the line with us. You know that Pittsburgh Steelers alum, current defensive coordinator of Norfolk State as well, man. So definitely vibed out with the homie, man. Looking forward to that. And just like always, man, vibing out, man, getting used to our new norm. Like we said, man, solo vibed out, man. This is how we do it. But either way, the content has to keep rolling. And even in these prime times when you get that fresh research in your system, baby, you're feeling real nice. Makes it all good, baby. So shout out to y'all though, man. I see y'all in the building tonight. All right. I see you. We ain't checking time just yet. I see y'all in here though. Salute. All right. As usual, like I said, man, I like to ramble on the front end, so it's time to get my ramble on. All right. Because it was a pretty good weekend, man. Hopefully y'all had a good weekend out there, man. Everybody stayed safe, man, and all the good things was vibed out the way that it was supposed to be. But yeah, man, for your boy over here, man, shoot, I was over here playing, there you go, NCAA 25, man, with a little guy, college football joint. He's over here like, yo, Dad, I want to learn about some good players, but who's some upcoming guys? And I'm like, hey, listen, man, just listen here. There's some dudes out here that you need to know about. He's like, nah, Dad, who you got on? Who you thinking? I said, listen, man, if you want to learn about some kids, it's going to be pretty good next year, and some that might even be joining the black and gold, well, follow my lead. So he said, all right, Dad, what team we going to pick then? I said, well, it's only one team right now that I know off the top of my head, son, that has a lot of players that could be playing on Sunday. A lot of players that we going to be targeting in the first or second round. So I did what any, sensible father would do in that moment with his son on NCAA. I picked Ohio State, all right? I said, son, you can't go wrong with Ohio State. I was in there, O-H-I-O. He was like, Dad, why Ohio State? I said, well, listen, man, let me teach you something real quick, all right? So I need to show him about the quarterback. I said, look, man, they got this quarterback. His name's Will Howard. Let me show you how to read option with him real quick, all right? But the kid can also sling it a little bit, all right? It ain't the best arm, but it's good enough, all right? So he was pretty hyped about Will Howard. I was liking how Will Howard was moving around. I was like, all right, shout out to the homie. Shout out to Will Howard, right? So then he was like, well, Dad, I know about this receiver, Jeremiah Smith. I said, yeah, son. He's pretty daggone good. He is. But you ain't got to worry about him. He ain't coming out this year. Hopefully, he ain't going to ever be in position for us to get him in the draft, all right? But I said, let me tell you about this other guy they got. This Emeka Egbuka. He's like, Dad, who this kid? I said, hey, man, this kid right here, man, get open, man, run a lot of routes, man, look good, look the part. I'm over here like, hey, bro, shout out to Emeka, man. So I'm over here like, all right, come on now. Everybody be mocking Emeka to us in the first round, right? All these first round mock drafts I see, and just giving y'all the heads up, we about a day away, all right? We're about a day away from it being officially mock draft, NFL draft, combine, full steam ahead. We ain't there yet, so don't send him yet. Don't send him. I know y'all be itching. Don't just wait on it. Just wait on it, all right? We ain't there just yet. But we there, though. We close. But I was like, hey, man, this is Emeka Egbuka kid, man. Yeah. Get in the ball late. He actually scored a touchdown in the game. He looked good, man. I was like, yo, this one of the kids, man. Mel Kiper done mocked them. PFF mocked them. A couple other places I've seen them mock them to us. I'm like, he looks good on the video game, too. So sometimes it's all right to check your prospects out to make sure, yo, is your game really going to translate? Like, are you nice in real life and on the video game? Or are you just nice in the video game and not in real life? Or maybe you're nice in real life, but just not in the video game. I mean, there's a lot of nice and not nice out there, all right? So shout out to Ohio State, man. And then, shoot, he loved the running backs. Travion Henderson and Quinshawn Judge. I think Quinshawn had about 180 on them boys last night, man, in the video game, man. So shout out to the running game, man, all right? But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Ohio State dudes, man. The more and more I watch them on tape, the more and more I go back and do little things, like I said, man, play the video game and check them out in there. I'm like, all right, okay. I might be picking up what they putting down. That's all I'm saying. All right. I was already a fan of Talik Williams, man. I like the big body down D lineman. I like him already. So I'm like, all right, y'all keep doing this little stuff like this, man. I'm aware of it. All right. And I don't hate it. I can get behind it potentially. But shout out to Ohio State, man. Them Buckeyes, man. They got boys had a squad last year, though, man. Holy smokes, they had a squad, all right? I know we had some Ohio State fans that be rocking out with this, man. Salute to y'all. But, yeah, man, looking at them like, yo, there's a lot of talent, man. And, I mean, all of those dudes that I just named right there are dudes that we could legit be targeting in the first and second round, man. We talked about Will Howard, man. Obviously, that's a dude that when we're going down this quarterback carousel of all these names that keep popping up, Lord have mercy, it's been a lot of names. It's been a lot, all right? And I'm sure there will be more to pop up. But Will Howard is one of the ones where it's like, hey, if you need just an option, another like a depth, a number 2, hey, man, you never know. He could fall in 9, all right? And then we have, wide receiver talent. You can never have enough wide receiver talent. You can never have enough big-time playmakers, guys that can go down the grass and get the rock. Emeka Egbuka is for certain one of those guys, man, ultra productive. So I'm like, yo, I can see him being one of those guys. We obviously talk running game, man, if Najee is to depart us. And we might get a chance to talk some Najee today. We might. But if he does leave and we have to replace his production, his body type, what he does, or add to the group, add to something with a Jalen Warren and maybe somebody else, well, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins are for certain 2 more than capable guys. I keep seeing Caleb Johnson pop up as well. Shout out to Caleb Johnson. The more and more I watch him, the more and more I like him as well. But yeah, I'm looking at those. So I'm like, yeah, those are 2 dudes that we for certain could be targeting, man. And then last but certainly not least, I mean, obviously Jack Sawyer, heck of a player. We just don't really need that type of guy right now. But Talik Williams, I'm like, yo, I just dropped the film session, was that yesterday on Milton Williams, right? Milton Williams from the Philadelphia Eagles, a guy that I'm saying, hey, if he, he's supposed to be hitting the market, I think that's a guy that we should be targeting. I think that, especially if we're talking about potentially moving on from Larry O, saving about, I think it's $6 to $7 million that we can save with that move. I'm like, yo, that's a player that I think you bring him in, has championship pedigree, played at one of his best games was in the biggest game of his life, the Super Bowl. 2 sacks, sack force fumble. Come on, man. So when I think of that, I'm like, it could definitely be that. But if not the free agent move, then Talik Williams, that's an option in there. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm digging them. I'm digging these Buckeyes. All right. So shout out to the Ohio State people in the building. All right. Shout out to Ohio State people. And on the front end, man, before we get all the way started and all the way into the show, I do got to also shout out to South Fayette, Lady Lions, Hoopers, man. I told y'all, man, me and wifey, we've been on our kick. Like we've been following around, checking out for the high school over here, man, the little high school girls team, man, going through the Whip Hill tournament and stuff, man. They was whooping some tail out there. Holy smokes. When we went to the game, was it Saturday? Yeah. Whew. Semifinals of the Whip Hill finals. Semifinals for the Whip Hills. And yeah, man, they went by like 40. I was like, geez, man. So I was like, I gotta go again. Gotta go shout them out again. So salute to the little Lady Lions over there, man. They kicking a lot of booty out there. All right. Keep it going, ladies. Keep it going. But with that being the case, like I said, man, we do got plenty that we need to discuss today. So hopefully y'all had a good weekend out there. If you did, you already know what time it is, man. It's time to check in. So drop it in the comment section, baby, where you are tuning in from. So that way I can give you those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, let's see. We got the homie Rod Dollars in the building, the 330 Youngstown, Ohio. Cheryline, baby, Cheryline. Shout out to you. He was on the phone lines the other day with the boy. And we got Heather Dope in the 717 Central PA. Major love for Central PA. Jay Farrow in the 213 Koreatown, California. Hey. And I see Joe in Detroit, the 313. Shout out to the D. Yes, indeed. Detroit in the building, baby. Yes, let's get it. David Decker in the 585, Rochester, New York, saying happy Monday. Salute to you as well. Skeeter Jones in the 310, South Wood. And then, let's see, we got to spin the block on Jar Devil, tapping it into 310 San Pedro, California. Shout out to San Pedro, baby. Yes, indeed. John L. rocking out in Morgantown, West Virginia. I hear you. I hear you. The 304, salute to you, baby. Little mountain mama. And I see Tim Robinson also tapping it in Central PA. Shout out to Central PA. One time for the culture. Reed Mitchell says he's in Warren, Ohio, and he's still blazing it up, getting that research on. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do, Daddy. Yo, if you ain't researching on a late night, what are we doing? I mean, this is usually when you stop being, you stop staying alive, and now it's time to get stuck in the couch, if you dig what I'm on. You dig what I'm saying? All right, so if you know, you know. So let's get with it. And I do see the ladies love Mr. Noriega, who we also had a chance to talk to last week. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you rocking with the show the way that you do as well. Rocking on the 864. And then let's see. And that, of course, is upstate South Carolina. All right. But then the last one I will shout out on the front end of the show. Oh, okay. Lifted ones, because we all are lifted. In the 916, tuning in from 24-hour fitness. Salute to 24-hour fitness. Shout out to anybody that is out there on their fitness journey. All right. Health is wealth, baby. Health is wealth. Shoot, man, think about the fitness journey, man. I was out here getting my workout on this weekend with a little man. Like when a little someone want to join me in the weight room, get a little sweat, a little lather. I'm like, yeah, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Because there was some crazy stuff going on this weekend, man. I pulled up the social media, started seeing pictures of Steve Smith's face in a selfie, and I was like, bro, why am I seeing Steve Smith looking like this? I didn't know what was going on. And then I did what you're not supposed to do on Twitter. I clicked it, and then the rest of it popped up. God, stay off the internet, man. Stay off the internet, all right? But yeah, it was crazy out there, all right? So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm done looking at the pictures. I'm just going to go back to working out. And shout out to my little guy, all right? We just worked out, watch highlights, football game, all right? Because it's crazy out there on the internet. It's crazy out there sometimes, all right? But yeah, shout out to everybody that's been working out, man. Rod Dahl said it was shoulders, back, and tricep day for him. Respect to that. Yeah, I had shoulders and back. You got it. Come on, man. You know what time it is, and can't forget legs too. I like to get my legs on the front end of the week. Get it out the way. Let me get some on Monday. Be recovered by hopefully Wednesday. You know how it is, though, man. Ooh, Jardo said he was on pool day today. Respect on that. The Don Hefe call. I say, hey, man, the husband was going after the wrong person. Hey. To each their own, man. All right. It was just a lot of husbands, a lot of wives, it was a lot of crossing. There was a lot of just bad. All right. I was like, hey, bro, stay away. I seen him in a band uniform. I said, yo, when Steve Smith joined the band? So, whoa, hey now. All right. I got what you're saying. The lines are starting to line. All right. I got it. But yeah, man, it was kind of nuts, man. It was kind of nuts. Ooh, and John L said he ran 6 miles today. Shout out. I like it, man. You got to get your fitness right, man. All right. Y'all know what time it is, man. Come on now. Because, we turning up, right? When you're turning up in life, man, you got to make sure that you're doing it in all your phases, all right? We don't want to be having too much of a good time and then we check out too soon, all right? We don't want to be on that, man. So, like I said, on occasion, man, get active, all right? Get active. But let's get it in. Yes, the Don Hefe Quan. After you put that work in the gym or out there getting your walk on and all the other good healthy stuff, then from there, take care of your rest and recovery, however you like to rest and recover, all right? All righty. But, over the weekend, we did make some moves out here, man. Shout out to the newest member of the gang, Donald Parham Jr. All right. Obviously joining the squad. I want to say the news came out. This had to be Friday, late afternoon, going into the weekend. But we signed Donald Parham Jr. on a 1-year deal. And for a little bit of context on him, man, he's going into his 5th season in the NFL. Just finished up 4 seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers, where he played tight end. And in terms of this dude, played at Stetson College, 6'8", 237 pounds. I mean, you look at him, man, yeah. Dude looks the basketball hooper part on the football field. That's what he looks like, bro. Crazy tall. Him and Darnell Washington, man. Mount Washington. They're gonna be competing what for who's the tallest dude out there, man. But in terms of some of the statistics with Darnold, man, 47 career games played, 23 starts, 764 receiving yards off of 67 receptions, has 11 receiving touchdowns also. All right. So in terms of and what he did just last year, or excuse me, not last year, because last year he was on Denver's practice squad. 2023 was his last active season where he was on the active roster. Like I said, out there with the Chargers. And with that, played in 14 games, 8 starts, 285 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns is what he had that season. All right. So in terms of Donald, obviously, man, he's a dude that, to me, man, is at that middle part of his career. Had a nice start to it, man, trying to carve out a role as a tight end, number 2 option, more of a receiver than the blocker type just right now, but still obviously is working on developing more. But I do like the fact that, man, this is a guy that has already had 4 seasons actively in the NFL, man, playing in a good amount of games. So just when you're talking about the experience part of it and what that brings, it brings competition, it brings depth. You think about a Michael Pruitt type, you talk about the Connor Haywards, obviously Darnell Washington. These are all guys that have at some point been a number 2 tight end or an alternative option for the tight end room. And when I look at Donald, I'm like, man, understanding obviously what Arthur Smith likes to do, meaning using tight ends, play action pass, that type of stuff. This is a guy that does give you an added element, an added option. Now, the beautiful part is the dude is 6'8". And when you watch him on tape, he looks the part of 6'8". You know, some people, they say, oh, yeah, he's 6'8", and he's really not 6'8". Like, when they be like, yo, Moats, you 6'2", you be like, yeah, bro, you 6'2", all right. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, his 6'8", I'm like, yo, you are legit. Like, it looked the part. So I do like that. I do think that athletically he presents a unique profile, man, because he actually does run well for his size. You know, you watch him, man, some of those big dudes, man, they look kind of clumsy out there. They don't have enough acceleration. But I thought, man, watching Donald on tape, that he does move well in space. And I think that that is a good thing for a guy his size. Now, obviously, the things that has kept him off the field has been a little bit of that physicality part. And when you are that tall, but also 237 pounds, you are a light, long guy. And that is very challenging at times in the trenches. If you watch him from a receiving standpoint, I think that he does an excellent job, man, high pointing the football or just giving his quarterback a lot more room for error, right? When you look at some of these big body dudes, man, it's like, man, I don't have to be pinpoint accurate. I don't have to put the ball in the precise location every time. I just got to put it up in the vicinity, and you're a guy that can go up there and get it. So when I look at, Donald, I'm like, yo, you definitely give that. And I think that that's going to be a positive. I think the challenges are going to be, like I said, man, can you stay on the field as a number 2 if you had to be the blocking guy? If you're not going to be the guy that we look at like Muth, who we know is the primary receiving threat at tight end, can you do some of the other stuff, which is what we ask of Darnell Washington, which was what we've asked of Michael Pruitt at times. And we've seen, for some of those guys, they can do it, but that's something that the door will be potentially open for. Now, if you can come out here and start hooping, going up top and straight dunking on folk when you throw the ball up in the air, look like Antonio Gates, look like Tony Gonzalez out that thing, I think that's a different convo, Jimmy Graham type, because he got the body type for that. But we'll obviously see how it plays out. But the one thing that I will also say is this, man, knowing that he was on the practice squad all of last year in Denver, I do like the fact that, man, he ain't giving up. Right? You talk about some adversity in people's career. Everybody just assumes like, man, when you go on that active roster, you play them first couple of seasons, like everything is gravy. And it's like to go from 4 years where you finally get vested, man, that's a big thing for the players from a benefit standpoint. And then you go to a practice squad. It's like, man, mentally that could be a lot on you, man. It could be a little bit of a embarrassment feeling, man, or a little bit feeling of just failure, right? Because you're going from being a guy that gets the helmet, that gets the jersey with the bigger checks, to now just being the practice squad. So I am eager to see how he's going to respond now that he gets a chance to have a whole offseason to compete with guys that look similar to him, Darnell Washington, but also guys that look different than him as well. And I think that, man, this could be a, potential a nice upside to it. I'm not going to come here and try to sell you a dream when they say, oh, man, this dude is all world. He's ready to light it up. We got our tight end, man. Let's go. But what I will say is this, man, I think that he does present a lot of positive, man. When you're looking at Donald versus, a guy that you're going to pick up late in the draft, right? Because tight end wasn't early on our list, right? We know we got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, D-line, maybe O-line if you're talking to TG, right? So I think of all of these other positions and I say to myself, well, man, when were you going to potentially get a tight end that which you would want to come in here and compete with the Darnell Washington, with, anybody else that you're going to keep in that room exclusively without, having to use a ton of resources? You don't have to use a ton of resources on a Donald Parham signing. And I think that that's going to be a positive. And like I said, man, you could potentially get a highly motivated dude that's coming in fresh off of a practice squad season after doing 4 years of being on the active. And now he's ready to prove that he belongs back on the active roster. So like I said, for me, I see it that way, man. I'm hoping that, he responds well to the adversity that he's faced in his career now, man. Because like I said, when you go from 4 years active to being on the P squad, that's adversity, man, because now you're trending in the wrong direction. So we will see how he responds to it, man. But I will say, man, I like the hype, man. You might not be the most skilled, but give me a defining characteristic. He got a defining characteristic. Not everybody has a defining characteristic. I wish I had the defining characteristic. I was like, yo, man, I wish I was 6'4", 260. That's defining characteristic. Yeah. When you 6'8", yeah. You passed the eyeball test. All right. You are good. You like, he does something. I don't know what it is, but he do something. All right. So we shall see if he can actually, translate some of that height and athleticism to being a more productive player, man, because we all for it, man. And let's also be real. It's not like we really care how we come about you or how we, find you and you help our squad. Oh, I mean, if it's a draft pick, great. We obviously have hit on draft picks before, right? If it's a free agent signing, we don't care. We'll take a free agent signing as well. If it's a trade, we don't care if it's a trade. Like, oh, man, we cut you, brought you back. It's the whole depot. Like, we do not care, man. If you could play and the time is right, man, pull up, let's work, man. So I do like that, man. But hopefully, like I said, man, y'all will be enjoying Donald Parham Jr. At some point this season, giving us some type of production, man. But either way, man, hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. Alrighty. Take a little sip of this here drink. Oh, okay. So Jay Farrow says he can't wait to see. All right, can't wait to see little Donald Parham, man. Like I said, 6'8" tall, bro. It's big body. Marva, where you going, man? You say gonna be gone for a few days. Hey, man, well, hope wherever you're gonna be at, man, you be safe and enjoying yourself, all right? Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, and we got a super that just popped up in here as well. Alrighty. And he says, it's from DJ Lundy. He says, hey, Moats, how you feel about drafting Derek Harmon from Oregon with the first round pick? Now, actually, I got to go check on him because I have not watched a ton of him just yet. So actually, let me see if I can. What I will do is for certain put him in my notes, though. All right. Because I know that's the big body, the interior D tackle cat, man, if I remember correctly. But I want to say he was more taller and thinner versus my man that I was looking at from, where is my other guy? I was comparing him or watching with him. Oh my goodness. Kenneth Grant. That was the other one because he was like more of the bigger body dude. Yeah, whereas Derek more of a tall, leaner type of dude. Yeah. So what I will do is this, man. I'm gonna go watch more tape on him, and then after that, man, I will get you a nice little breakdown. Wednesday show, player. Don't you trip. All right. So yeah, say less on that, man. But I definitely know the name, man. So yeah, but just in the sense of where you're targeting, though, in terms of overall focus, right? From a position group standpoint, you're obviously looking at D-line when you're saying, man, would you go and draft Derek Harmon in the first round? So what I will say is this, man, before I even get to a ton of the tape on Derek, I do like the fact that we're considering D-line. I think when we're talking that first round, there are a lot of different ways we can go, but I do think D-line, especially interior D-line, that has to be a part of the conversation until we know or until new information is given to us via free agency. I think that, yeah, you have to assume that, yeah, if all things are on the table, why wouldn't D-line? Why wouldn't that be important to us? We obviously want to get younger over there, but we also want to get cheaper over there. And part of getting cheaper is hitting on some of these draft picks, right? That's how you could turn the clock over with these contracts and not have to have everybody be a second and third contract guy on the defense side of the ball that is good. some of these dudes we want to be just like, Ricky level deal contract guys, man. That means that you're keeping the youth part active. So with that, I do think that Derek Harmon could present or could fit that void for us. But me personally, I just need to go watch more of him specifically before I can give you like a breakdown on him. But as a whole, though, definitely like the thought process, though, man, of interior D lineman, man. Like I said, I'm down for interior D lineman. First round, I'm down for wide receiver in the first round. Don't really like any quarterback in the first round for us, just based off what we are picking at. But yeah, man, I ain't tripping on that though, man. Running back, I don't know if I could talk myself into a running back in the first round. I was thinking about it over the weekend, man. Obviously, we was over. You seen some of the content that dropped and stuff like that, man. We had some convos about it. I'm like, running back first round, nah, I don't know. Yeah, can't see it right now. All right, but either way, man, shout out to you, DJ Lundy, man. Definitely appreciate you rocking out with me as well, man. But next up though, man, did have to do some more housekeeping because we did get some more updates, man, as it pertains to our in-house free agents. Eric Rowe, obviously, man, we know we signed him 2 years ago when we were dealing with a plethora of injuries. Holy smokes, man. We were getting killed, man. And we were down to literally nobody. And we had to sign Eric Rowe, man. He came off the street for us, man. Started some games, got multiple turnovers, man. Played really well in his, that was his 9th season at the time. Then obviously he was still with us last year, but did not play in any games, man. Nobody got hurt. It was a great season, man. I like that. I like to see Minka. I like to see Deshaun Elliott. Keep my guys out there, right? But Eric Rowe was still a part of the congregation, man. He was still a part of the family. But the update was this, man. He was, I forgot which podcast he was doing, but in an interview, he was basically talking about obviously his contract expiring and, what that was looking like for him. And from the Steelers side, they are going to allow his contract to expire so that way he can test the market and things like that. But the flip side is this, man. What Eric Rowe had said in the interview was, he's talking to the Steelers currently and he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He's like, he feels like, man, he loves the organization and this is where he wants to be. And I'm like, man, if Eric Rowe, former 2nd round pick, dude, just finished up his 10th season, has obviously, when we needed him the most, showed up, made plays for us, man. I like the depth that he brings. I like the fact that he's still a cheap dude, so it's not like it's going to cost anything crazy. But obviously, you're talking about roster spots. When you're talking about the depth behind your Minkas and your Deshaun Elliott's, the convo now becomes, are you trying to get the youth, the young side of it, where you're looking for those, rookie type bodies that can come in here and potentially develop? We obviously have one of those guys in the wings, Ryan Watts, right? We usually got hurt last year. Or do you want to go with a little bit more of a proven commodity as the backup, as the depth? And I think that Eric Rowe presents the latter, right? That alternative option where, yeah, if you want somebody that can compete with Ryan Watts in training camp, you want somebody that can compete with Ryan Watts for snaps to push the young guy, man, that's the type of guy that can do it. But it also gives you flexibility that, hey, man, if injury happens, man, or if somebody isn't available, it's like, yo, you do at least still feel some type of comfort with Eric. Now, I also like the fact that the Steelers are allowing him to go test the market. They not in a hurry to bring him back. They're like, hey, man, hold on. Because we might not want you back, all right? We might not want you back. But I do like the fact that, the conversation is being had, at least from his side of it. And like I said, man, from the Steelers, do your due diligence, man. You got plenty of time. If you want to bring Eric Rowe back, you can bring him back at any point in time. But it is good to hear from the Steelers standpoint that he does want to rock back with us. And at least from our side, we know that, hey, man, you do know how to play football. That's the good part. You know how to play football. You're a productive player. We could work with you. All right. So shout out to Eric Rowe with that, man. But like I said, man, we're hoping to get more and more of that type of information, that type of news as pertains to Justin Fields, as pertains to Russell Wilson. We keep getting all these different reports with those two dudes, man. I think the most recent report I saw was Mark Kabali. Shout out to Kaboom. But yeah, he was basically saying that, he was saying that he doesn't anticipate Justin Fields coming back. He thinks Justin Fields is going to sign elsewhere. And it's like, all right, man, I mean, that's the new swing this way. But then I think it was just last week, they were saying that Justin Fields was the guy that was the favorite to come back and be the guy. Then we're obviously getting a ton of these new Matthew Stafford reports and the interest spiking there. We obviously did the Daniel Jones last week. All right. That was kind of crazy. Still processing right now. I'm still processing. All right. So shout out to y'all on the YouTube channel. And also shout out to y'all too, man, that's been rocking on the Instagram page as well. The Moats Experience. All right. I have seen y'all rocking out over there in the comment section as well, man. So like I said, if y'all all on Instagram and y'all need to drop a follow somewhere, man, make sure y'all show some love on the social media channel as well. Like I said, at the Moats Experience. All right. But when I'm thinking of those things, I'm just like, man, we need to know more info, man. We got info on Dan Moore, right? We know more than likely he's gone. James Daniels, more than likely he's gone. We got that info. Shout out to you, Jay Fro. You know, I appreciate you from the heart. Yeah. And yes, the Don Half Quan, the Instagram for certain needs more followers. We're going to get more over there, all right? Like, we had it up at first, and then like I kind of like disappeared for a little while. But then after that, man, I was like, I got a plan now, all right? And I got a team in place. So shout out to the homie Tyler, all right? The same Tyler y'all see, when we rock out. Right, Riverside, y'all got another episode coming up soon. All right, yeah. I like how y'all rocking with him. Y'all see him on the short, stuff like that. But yeah, man, so now he's taking over the social media. He's like, bro, I got you. All right, so he's helping me out, taking some of that off my plate. So that's why it's back booming. So yeah, man, definitely tell a friend to tell a friend on that one. All right, but yeah, man, we definitely for certain going to continue to rock out on multiple avenues. All right, like I said, man, only getting bigger and better. You know that. Ooh, shout out to Ghost. Shout out to Ghost. Ghost, baby. I was looking for you, Ghost. I was waiting on you, man. Ladies and gents, we got Ghost in the building. All right, hold on. Let me take a little sip right here, because Ghost, I've actually been meaning to. I've been meaning to talk to you for a little while. Okay. Some of y'all right now, for the audio only crowd, y'all aren't. y'all like, who the heck is Ghost, bro? You talking about power? No, I ain't talking about power, man. I'm talking about the chat. For the chat, those that don't understand, Ghost is a part of the congregation. Ghost is a member. Ghost been tapping in. He been watching the show. He been seeing some of the 662 live episodes that have taken place on the channel. And for about 658 of them things, it was a two-man show, the Most Experience with Deke. But of lately, about 2 weeks ago now, going on, actually 3 weeks ago, sheesh, time flies. It has turned into a solo show, the Most Experience. So Ghost of all people, the corporate. Oh, Heather Dope knows, Jay Farrow knows. Oh, Ghost had the audacity to say, yo, Moats, what happened to Deke? Well, Ghost, this is what happened, and this is completely a lie. You, my friend, are what happened. Me and Deke were in here vibing about 3 weeks ago. We was having a podcast. It was a vibe, and he was like, yo, bro, I'm not feeling good. And I was like, all right, what's wrong, man? He was like, yo, bro, I've been waiting. I've been looking for this guy named Ghost. He always taps in the chat, man, and I need to see him. If he doesn't show up today, I just can't come back. It's over. The podcast is done. And I was like, Ghost? I was like, all right, man, I ain't tripping there, bro. Say less. You know me. I'm like, bro, bet it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you want to do that? We'll double it nothing. It's whatever. Say less. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, I was like, listen, man, Ghost gonna pull up. Don't you trip. Don't you sweat. This big Ghost we talking about. Big Ghost. So me and Deke sat here. Don't be confused, Ghost. Me and Deke, we sat here on the live and we waited for you to comment on the live. And you never did. And Deke, he left and he was like, hey, bro, I can't come back. And since then, we hadn't heard from you or seen you up until today. And now I'm sad. So everybody has basically said that it was your fault that Deke left. And that's what happened. That's why it's no longer, Deke here anymore, man. Okay, Ghost. So I hope that you can understand. I appreciate you. I still got mad love for you. But there are some people in the congregation that they kind of feel some way about you. They was like, yo, Ghost, man, why you ain't pop up, bro? We needed you. We needed you in the chat that day. You weren't here, man. All right, Ghost. So I know you never comment, really. I know, but it's all right, though. It's all right. It's all right, because I'm lying, Ghost. It was completely a joke, but I just wanted to show you some love because you was concerned, man, all right? But no, in all seriousness, man, me and the homie Deke, man, after 6 years, man, the dude hit me up and was like, hey, bro, I'm just ready to just continue to, grow as a solo creator, man, spread my wings even more. And, man, you know me. I'm super supportive, man. I'm like, bro, I didn't see you at the beginning of this thing. I didn't see every step along the way of your development, man. And, man, salute you, bro. Go spread the wings, man. So that was ultimately what happened, man. But the homie is still doing well, and we wish him nothing but the best. But no ill will, no hard feelings, nothing negative that transpired. It was just, Hey, man, 6 years of the thing, grinding. He's ready to take that next step and graduate. So, I'm trying to have my coaching tree be a little bit more robust than Coach Tomlin. All right, I know how y'all be feeling about the coaching tree. Y'all never like Coach Tomlin's coaching tree. Always talk, man, he ain't got no coaches. He ain't got. So I was trying not to look like Coach T. All right, so it was like, all right, bro. As much as I want to keep you, as much as I don't want you to spread your wings. I understand. Okay, I get it. You can't keep your hand closed the whole time. You gotta let it go. So that's the real story of what happened, Ghost. But I do like to just whenever we have a live, whenever somebody hops on, they like, yo, what happened to Deke? I'd be like, oh yeah, you're my new victim today. All right. So I like to do a little guilt trip on you. All right. Put a little pressure on you, hot seat you a little bit, give you a little attention. But then after that, it's all love. All right. I tell you the real story. So there you go, Ghost. That's what happened to the homie Deke, man. But hopefully you are enjoying yourself, man. Hopefully everything is good with you. But yes, he said he was so confused. Ghost like, yo, I just be tapping in. I don't really be commenting. I just be trying to watch it, enjoy it. I like the content. I hit the subscribe button. I thought it was all good. Ghost hopped on with a live and got walked into the crosshairs. Say, hey, bro, what I done? What's the F me for? No, shout out to you, Ghost, though, man. All love, baby, all love. Listen, you're not the first one. You're not going to be the last one either. And I had to remember, I said, bro, we did do 650 something episodes together. That's how I say, yo, Moats, it's going to take longer than 3 weeks of solo shows for people to actually catch on to, hey, yo, all right, me and the homie ain't doing it together no more. So trust me, Ghost, you are good. I have plenty of patience. I figure at least for the whole calendar year, I'm going to be hitting somebody with that daily, all right? Because you know how it is. I mean, the show is the show because of how heavily y'all rock with it, which is why we love it. You know what I'm saying? But also, man, it's the same part where it's like the show still continues. And it's, like I say, you can look at it one or two ways. You can have negative energy about it, or you can have a positive energy about it. And you know how I am with everything. I mean, shoot, it doesn't matter how big or how small the win or loss is. It's like, hey, man, all you can do is keep going forward, control what you can control, which is your response to the outside variables. And that's all I'm trying to rock out with, baby. So here we are, baby. Here we are. But shout out to Ghost. Ex-Casa say, hey, Ghost, how dare you show your face around here? Hey, look, I be having to say it hard on the joking part at the beginning, though, man. All right, because I felt like when I first did that joke, I forgot who was the first person I did that to, but I don't feel like everybody understood it was a joke, and they was like, "Yo, is this for real?" Like, as if it is the case, that yo, we really got an issue with you. I'm like, "Oh, wait, it's all fun. It's all for the case, man." All right. So yeah, all good, baby, all good. But yeah, that's where we currently are with it, man. So. But with that, though, Ghost, man, I'll give you the update since I'm just rapping with you for a little bit as we're in between time right now. The way that we do it now is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, still 3 shows a week, still 3 lives a week. But Monday and Wednesday, we're doing at 8 p.m. now. All right, I like to kick back, man, get the late night vibe since I'm solo with it. All right, gives me more time to get my vibes the way that I need to vibe out. And then also, man, instead of TG, Terence Garvin, usually just have him once a week on Wednesdays, right? Well, now he's Monday and Wednesdays at 9 p.m., man. We rap with him. Also, man, some of the behind the scenes gang, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you, Thursdays, 4 o'clock always, where we have phone lines popping and percolating, all right? Popping and percolating like crazy. So you don't want to miss that. And in terms of, those are 3 lives. But as you can see, we got a gang of crazy, amazing people in the chat, all right? And yeah, you don't want to miss out on them because they're like family. We're all just one big hodgepodge of awesomeness. All right. So welcome to the party, baby. Welcome to the party. All right. But here we are. Yeah, ex-constants, man. You know how I do, man. Hey, don't you get on me like that. All right. On occasion, I send a little gaslight. On occasion. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All righty. Man, I was looking at my TV, man. Started acting all crazy. Had me some highlights playing in the background, and my highlights went off. Man, they ain't going. Want to mess me up today? Why you want to mess my game up like that? You know what I'm saying? Jeez Louise. But let's see. Y'all hit that like button as well, man. If y'all vibing out and enjoying the show, and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. All righty. Let me get to this next. Oh, actually, do want to get your thoughts on this next topic If I can get this graphic popping and percolating the way this off. Oh, so you know how that go. Sometimes technology be technology, man. All right. But did want to react to this, man, and kind of get your thoughts on this one as well, man. So like I said, man, definitely hit that like button on the front end. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. Man, this article released probably over about a week ago, man. Maurice Jones-Drew. We obviously know who Maurice Jones-Drew is, man. Former NFL big dog running back, man. Played a long time, man. Obviously, he's doing his thing on NFL Network. You always catch him out there on the late night. Well, I guess if you're in Cali, it's not too late, but in terms of us East Coast folk, I'd be like, bro, it's dang near 1 in the morning, man. I'm tired of watching you, Maurice Jones-Drew, MJD, man. You cool, but it's late, bro. All right. But what he did do was rank all of the running backs that played last season, and specifically the ones that started games. All right. He had a little criteria on this thing, man. So he said basically any running back that started at least one game last year, but also had at least 20 carries this past season. And he also did a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of an analysis. Anybody that started more than one game, he even gave you a little write-up on. But he ranked all the running backs, like I said, man, that started at least one game this season and had 20 carries this final season. And with that, man, it was pretty interesting because obviously, you know, we have a couple running backs that played this year, but only one guy actually made this list, which I was a little bit surprised by. But when you think about the criteria, I was like, okay, I see how Jalen Warren, unfortunately, was not included. All right. But of the 174, Jesus, of the 74 running backs that started at least one game this season and had at least 20 carries this season, we did have our one guy, our starter, Mr. Najee Harris, make the list of running backs. And this is, like I said, Maurice Jones-Drew, his list. And the reason why I wanted to bring this one up and why I appreciate or at least respect his list a lot more than some of the other lists that you see out there by the analysts is this, man. MJD played the game, played it at a high level, played it for a long time. I'm one of those guys that, I also played the game, played it for a long time. And when I'm around those type of dudes, man, that have done it, that, look at it a certain way, see it a certain way, but are also still actively a part of it, which he is, being a part of the NFL Network. He's out there at those training camps. He's at those practices. He's seeing it. I do put a little bit more stock in his opinion of these players, man, because this is a guy that isn't just watching a highlight one or two. He's like, yo, this dude's out there. He travels around. He has to see these dudes' eyes on him. So I do like that. But on the list, he had my man Najee ranked as the 18th best running back that started at least one game and had 20 carries last season. All right. So I'll read his write-up on Najee, and I'll tell you some of the players that he had in front of him and obviously who was around him as well. Actually, let me read off the players that was around him first, and now I'll give you the full read up on Najee. All right. So like I said, Najee had him ranked at 18th in the from all those eligible running backs, right, that started at least one game last year and had at least 20 plus carries last season. At 17, though, he had Tony Pollard, obviously the running back with the Tennessee Titans, man, played in 16 games this year, had 1,079 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 230 receiving yards as well. He had J.K. Dobbins at 16, Chuba Hubbard at 15, James Conner, shout out to James Conner at 14, Devon Achane at 13 on the list. Alvin Kamara was 12th on his list. Bucky Irvin, running back down there in Tampa Bay, was the 11th best running back to MJD in terms of those guys that had at least one start and 20 plus carries minimum this past season. His 10th best running back was Aaron Jones, Minnesota Vikings. Then at number 9, he had Joe Mixon with the Houston Texans. At number 8, James Cook, Buffalo Bills. Whoa, hey, no, whoa, hey, I ain't say that was him. Don't you get me in trouble. All right. At number 7, Kyron Williams, running back with the Rams. Number 6, he had Jonathan Taylor, running back with the Indianapolis Colts. Number 5, Josh Jacobs. Shout out to Josh Jacobs, man. He had a 1,300 this year, 15 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown as well. He balled out. Bijan Robinson is his 4th best running back. I did not know Bijan had 1,400 on the ground this year either. Shout out to Bijan. 1,400 on the ground, 14 receiving touchdown or 14 rushing touchdowns, another 431 through the air with the receiving touchdown there. Yeah, I like it. Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs, another 1,400-yard back, 500 through the air, 16 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns. Holy smokes, he was cooking. Then obviously at number 2, he had Derrick Henry. Shout out Derrick Henry, man. 1,900 on the ground, 16 rushing touchdowns. Then he had another 2 receiving touchdowns. And then we all know who the number 1 rated running back was on his list. It was Saquon Barkley. No surprise there. 2K on the ground, 13 rushing touchdowns, another 2 receiving through the air. All right. So in terms of the backs that he has in front of Najee, not a lot that I hate. I felt like, obviously if I was going to hate Devin Achane, that would be one of those ones that I would probably be like, hey, bro, I ain't really feeling that one being ahead of Najee. I would also throw Chuba Hubbard, even though I know Chuba was a little bit more productive down there in that abysmal Panther system. Just like I still like my man Najee over him. J.K. Dobbins, I feel like Najee outperformed him, period. That's just how I look at it. And then obviously with Tony Pollard was a productive player this year. So I was like, you know what? I ain't tripping on that one, man. But the other 2, yeah, I did have an issue with. All right. But in terms of what MJD had to say about my man Najee. Let me get that. Man. Don't you jump on me like that? There it is. Now we back. All right, so he says, when you really look at the stat sheet, Harris's 2004 campaign wasn't all that eye-opening. He had 75 or fewer rushing yards in 15 games, including playoffs. That said, he eclipsed 1,000 yards for the 4th straight season. So he generally made the most of his time in Pittsburgh. He hits free agency in March, and there is a real possibility we haven't seen him reach his full potential. So like I said, man, that's what Maurice Jones-Drew had to say about Najee based off of this past season and, how he kind of stacks up versus some of these other guys. So like I said, those are the guys that he has in front of him. But some of the guys that Naj is, that he had ranked ahead of, which was kind of good to see as well. Rico Dowdle. Obviously, we know he was with the Dallas Cowboys last year, 1,000-yard rush. And the thing that I do like about MJD, he didn't just do this list solely based on stats. He's doing this based off of his personal feel, what he sees. And ultimately, it's like, man, if he thinks that this guy was better, even though his numbers might not be as good as this guy, he still went ahead and ranked him ahead, which even though I didn't agree with the guy that he had ranked ahead of Naj, I do like that thought process. All right. David Montgomery, obviously know, he played the 14 games this year, man, did come back for the playoffs. But yeah, that was a guy that he had Naj ranked ahead of David Montgomery. I know there are some people out there that prefer Montgomery. They like his explosiveness a little bit more. All right. DeAndre Swift, Naj was ahead of him. Naj was ahead of Breece Hall. Naj was ahead of Chase Brown as well, obviously with the Cincinnati Bengals. So I do like that. The other one that I'm ready to down this hill. Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, man, of course. Najee ranked 18th. Mr. Ramondre Stevenson, 10 mil per year. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, Naj, you'd better get more than that. All right. He had him ranked 26 on the list. All right. We know he had 800 rushing yards this season, played in 15 games, 7 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown as well. I hate to say it, man. I'm going to down that hill, though, man. All right. Najee, you got to get more than Ramondre, man. You got to get more than Ramondre. All right. But he also had Najee ranked better than Kareem Hunt, better than Rashad White, better than Brian Robinson as well, man, which I was happy to see that. But I like Brian Robinson. All right. I like him a lot. Tank Bigsby as well. Kenneth Walker. I mean, there's some names up here, man. But I do feel like, man, as we're talking about Naj, he is one of those guys that the explosive part, it continues to hurt him. It continues to haunt him. There are offenses, though, that I do think he could flourish in. I forgot who we were talking to, man, or how it came about. But the concept of if Najee was in Kansas City with Mahomes, or if Najee was out there in LA with the Chargers, I'm like, yeah, Najee could fit in both of those offenses, and Najee would, I think, have a lot more production in both of those offenses, man, especially when you look at just the different, O-line combinations he's had to run behind. You also look at the different, obviously passing attacks that he's played under different coordinators and stuff like that, or just the lack of explosiveness. He's faced a lot more, bodies in the box. Whereas you look at how teams play the Chiefs, man, they're not filling the box like that. So a dude like Najee, yeah, he could take full advantage of a situation like that, man. Obviously, we know a dude like Najee with the Chargers, man. If you're talking about with a Justin Herbert type quarterback, yeah, that does open up more opportunities for him just because you're not getting that stacked box. And I do think that's something that could help him out. But at the same time, I'm Team Najee, man. I've been on that, man. But at the same time, I'm only Team Najee for the right price. Because, yeah, what sucks for Najee is when I look at Travion Henderson, when I look at Caleb Johnson, when I look at, some of these backs coming out, I'm like, yo, there are multiple ways that I think we can do this thing. I know some people have been talking about Nick Chubb. Might get to that one. All right. Yeah. That name's been popping up recently. But I'm like, yo, there are a lot of options out here. Different variations, man. The free agency part of it, we brought up Aaron Jones. We brought up J.K. Dobbins. But there are definitely some young dudes, man. There are definitely some young cats. I hear you, Jay Farrell. Made me feel like I was in church. I say, hey, talk about it now. Talk about it. All right, come on now. But look, man, when I'm looking at, these different backs, man, I'm looking at specifically some of these college guys as well. I do feel like, yeah, a combination of an Marion Hampton, the kid out of UNC, a combination of a Dylan Sampson, right? I do think those are the type of guys that if you're pairing them with the Jaylen Warren and maybe even that third tier free agent guy, right? I do think that could be very productive. And even though it's not the standalone that Najee is, I think you could equate to that production or maybe even surpass it, even though it would look and feel slightly different. When we talk about Nick Chubb is one of those guys to me that fits a lot of those boxes that I'm looking for in the backfield because we know Nick Chubb is, man. Nick Chubb, when healthy, let's preface it, right? We got to preface when healthy. But Nick Chubb, when healthy, man, it's all world. It's the top 3 back in the NFL, man. No questions asked about that. And we've seen that from Nick Chubb specifically when he's been healthy, specifically in his time in Cleveland, which has been crazy because it's Cleveland we talking about. But it's been plenty of times that we would look at Cleveland and we're saying to ourselves, man, you got to worry about Nick Chubb. You got to worry about his vision. You got to worry about his ability to get in and out of his cuts, his contact balance, his overall toughness. I mean, we obviously know he had the nasty knee injury when he was in college, but then to overcome that, sustain another nasty knee injury, obviously at the hands of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Jeez Louise. That was still a crazy scenario. But when I think of that, I'm like, man, this is another dude that had to battle back from that crazy, long, grueling rehab to come back and play in his first game and come right back to playing out here versus us, man. It was kind of crazy, man, to see, Nick Chubb do all of those things. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, when you're looking at Nick Chubb and you're looking at some of the injuries, it's like, yeah, that I can understand that making people a little bit skittish, a little bit hesitant about him. But what I will say is this, man, since this dude is coming to the league, the production you really can't go against. Obviously was second round pick in 2018. I mean, which when he's been healthy, all right, because we know these past 2 years, 2023 blew the knee out in the second game of the season. Like I said, that was the Minkah game. Played in 8 games last year before breaking his foot, but that was him coming back from the knee. All right, still gave you 300 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had 1 receiving touchdown last year. All right, and that was crazy because some people thought he would never play again just based on how gruesome that injury was. I still can't believe it. I remember being there, man, my little guy sitting right next to me, we're watching the game. I was like, oh my God, like, this is nuts, man. But 2022, man, 1,500 rushing yards, 12 tutties. 2021, 1,200 rushing yards, 8 tutties. 2020, 1,000 rushing yards, 12 tutties. 2019, 1,400 rushing yards, dang near. He was 6 yards away from 1,500 rushing yards for the second time in his career, 8 tutties. And then his first year, 900 was 4 yards away from 1,000, 996, and he had 8 touchdowns. That's some crazy production. Now, it also puts in context, too, when you're talking about 4,000-yard seasons. Then you're looking at Chubb, 1,400, 1,000, 1,200, and then another 1,500. Yes, that is crazy in terms of when you're talking about that level, but that's also a reason why when we talk Nick Chubb, we say, yeah, that's a top 5 back in the NFL. We don't talk about Najee, with all due respect, as a top 5 running back. I think they're 2 different class of backs, but I do like the durability. I do like the fact that Najee is still in range. It ain't like we talking about Najee in 700, 700, 800, 800. No. We know he's been in the vicinity. All right. But Chubb is Chubb. Chubb is that dude for a reason. And he's been like that for a long time when healthy. But emphasis on the health part. Like I talked about, that knee injury was big, but he was able to come back from it. Then obviously, you break the foot this past season. That does suck as well. Part of me believes that, just understanding how recoveries go, how your body works when you're coming back from a major injury at one thing, when you overcompensate at other parts, and sometimes you do it subconsciously, right? You're not even intentionally going about it and saying, man, I'm trying to put more weight on this. I'm trying to protect this side. Sometimes it just happens. And that leads to some of the stress. That leads to some of the things, occurring that puts you in a position where you are at a higher probability to be compromised by injury. So I do look at that, and I do have some of my personal concerns of, or personal feelings about, I think that was just a part of that. And it's not him becoming injury prone at this stage of his career, because throughout his professional career, the dude's been relatively healthy. Like I said, man, 17 games, 14 games, 12 games, 16 games, 16 games. It's like you're playing in a lot of football games, especially at one of the most violent positions on the field. But I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I know Nick Chubb and Jalen Warren could work. I ain't tripping on that. But I'm trying to think who's my third back. Like, I see Jay Farrell asking about, would it be a combo of Najee, Jalen Warren, and Nick Chubb? I don't know. Me personally, I don't think Najee would like that. Unless the numbers made sense from a cash standpoint. If you're going to pay Najee, $10 million, I think that he's open to whatever type of backfield you want to run, right? Committee or not. But at the same time, it's like, if you're the Steelers, would you want to pay Najee 10 if you're going to bring him into a committee with a Nick Chubb, who, when healthy, we're like, Nick Chubb when healthy is the guy. It's just, he got to stay healthy right now, right? And we know he's working on that recovery for multiple things, man. But that's part of it. Now, the other part is this: do you believe Nick Chubb still has juice like that? When you start talking about lower body injuries to running backs a little bit later, in the career, and the reason why I say a little bit later is because with Nick Chubb, he'll be 30 in December. All right, so that's the other part. He's 29 right now, but his birthday is December 27th, so it'd be the end of the season. So that's the other part where you're just like, do you feel like he still has enough juice? Do you feel like he still can give you the high-end production, or at least get back close to some of that high-level production that we saw and we became super accustomed to seeing with Nick Chubb? Because he became like the premier version of just a true running back, right? We would say, man, Saquon is like the human, highlight reel, joystick, that type of vibe, man. He could do it all, right? Start, stop is just wow factor. We said with Derrick Henry, man, that's the big just mutant at running back. Defining characteristic is size, and he can run. He's an 18-wheeler. Then you talked about, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, and we're like, oh, yeah, he's more that Saquon vibe where he's just different. He just got juice in him. But we was like, man, in terms of pure running back, like the old school, like that's a RB. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's the true, just old school style. Yeah, that's Nick Chubb, man. Nick Chubb is dot back or running back right behind the quarterback or the fullback, and we giving him that ball downhill 20 plus times and let him cook. That is Nick Chubb's game. Does that fit Arthur Smith's scheme? 1,000% it does. Who doesn't want a running back that, can do all those things and has the juice to take it the full distance, man? Yeah, that definitely, presents a lot of intrigue to me. And I also think that at this stage, Nick Chubb, you're not breaking the bank on him either. I don't know how cheap it is, but it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than what it was. I'll tell you that. It was a lot cheaper than what it was 2 years ago. And when you add that extra injury, I'm like, hey, bro, I can get you for a little cheaper now, man. So I do like that. And that's the part where it's like, yeah, man, if I'm just going, down the list of alternative routes, if I'm going down the list of ways that we could add to that running back room, there are a lot worse ways I could go than signing Nick Chubb is what I'm basically saying, man. So I do like that. And I do think, like I said, man, he would be intriguing. Man, y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about Nick Chubb, though. Excuse me. If that's one of the guys that, for you guys, you would be open to him, joining the Steelers. I know he's been in that nasty Browns situation over there, man. But we've had some success on former Browns coming over here. I remember Joe Hayden. All right. This is a great sign. Shout out to Joe, man. Jump, man. All right. But let me know how y'all feel about him, man. Jason King said if it's cheap, he likes him. And I'm with you. If it's cheap for the right price, Nick Chubb with Jaylen Warren, I mean, shoot. Like I said, I don't know if Najee is back in that convo or not, but whoever the third alternative is, I can see that a little bit, man. Okay. Cody James seems like he's not on the Nick Chubb vibe. All right. He says, I love Chubb too. Man, respect to him, but just not worth it right now. And that's fair, man. That is fair. Anytime you start talking lower body injuries to some of these running backs, man, that can be one of them taboo things of like, nah, I'm good. But we've also seen when he's been healthy, and we've obviously have played against it as well. And it's like, hey, bro, why we got to deal with that one? Right? All right. Connor says Chubb would be a good signing if they also bring in a rookie. Now, that to me, I would agree with. If you're going to move on from Najee and we're bringing in Nick Chubb and Caleb Johnson, or Nick Chubb and Amarion Hampton, Nick Chubb and Travion Henderson, I think any of that as the three-man weave, that type of convo, I love. I think I got my veteran leader, a guy that is used to being on the mountaintop at that position, who we obviously just want to get back healthy. You got Jaylen Warren, who we're excited about, and now we're basically saying, hey, you have to make this work, man. We're turning it over to you. We want you to be the lead of the three. And then whoever the young rookie is that we bringing in, hey, man, get ready to get used. All right. We're going to need you. We're going to put you in some positions for you to grow. And you're going to be behind two dudes that to varying levels are established, but also, hey, it's an open door. We ain't against you beating both of these dudes though either. I'm down for all of that. And I think that we can accomplish that as well, man. But like I said, man, Nick Chubb, man, to me is definitely a guy that I'm open to, man. All right, let me see what else I had to say about Nick Chubb, though. Let me see. Somber said he's okay for a committee, and especially for the right price. The right price is key, man. Because like I said, the injuries are what did it for me. You know, when I'm thinking about who Nick Chubb was and who he currently is, I think that's two different things. But at the same time, seeing what he was able to do when he came back this year from the injury, the same way we talk about some of these other position players, man, when they come back from injury, and it's like that first year back is always the toughest year. I am eager to see what it looks like for him with this offseason, man. Healthy and let's go. You know what I mean? But we obviously still gonna be rehabbing, all right? Because he did, I want to say broke the foot probably like I said, a couple games after he came back, so we do know that part of it. But like I said, man, we will see. The health is key, though, man. Health is key with Nick Chubb, man. Alrighty. But y'all hit that like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Alrighty. Let me see if what a homie, or if he on his workflow tonight, because I was last time. My dog had to work. And if that is the case, then, we will pivot up off of that thing. But, let me tap in with the homie. I got to tap in with the homie on occasion. Make sure everything is copacetic. Oh, that's right. Let me not drink too close to the microphone. I wish I had my man's name. I had received a couple of complaints. They said, the microphone sounds too ASMR. He said, yo, we don't like how you sound with this microphone. Why you got to talk like that? I can hear you breathe. I can hear you drink. Had people feeling real uncomfortable. And I was feeling real petty. So they said they didn't like how I was doing all this ASMR. Yeah, you don't like the ASMR, huh? It makes you feel weird. Yeah, I think it's crazy as well, man. But like I said, anytime, man, somebody starts giving me too much feedback, man, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm human on occasion. All right. Sometimes I like to be a professional. Sometimes I like to operate with excellence. Other times I like to just be like, you know what? Let me just have a little time today. So that's what that was. Hey, look, this what happened, man. All right. When Deke was here, y'all don't realize Deke would make me have to be professional. All right. D going, man, bro. I be cutting up in here now. I just cut it all up. So I'm just letting y'all know now, man. Hey, Kendall Moses, you out of pocket, man. My man said, yo, TG is at Parlor's getting some food right now. Hey, man, he better not be at no Parlor's chicken, man, getting into that fried stuff in this, man. He probably is. You know, TG be outside, all right? TG in the 757 running around. Lord have mercy, all right? I'm just nervous, all right? I'm nervous, my dog, because 757 is crazy. But he's a great dude, though, all right? But you see what we on. I'd be like, yo, it's a lot be happening. I'd be like, yo, is you getting food? You know what I'm saying? You're water side. What you doing, man? Wait, you stuck in the tunnel. There's traffic down there. I know some traffic down there. Where you at, man? What's my dog doing, man? Well, shout out to my dog, man. He's trying to build a championship unit down there, all right? Shout out to the homie, man. Shout out to the homie. So while we wait on him, and we will pivot up off of that. Alrighty. And actually, I think I wanted to talk some of my college dudes a little bit more too, man. As we, like I said, wait on the homie here. So let's get that real quick. But yeah, man, y'all let me know too what y'all on tonight too, man. I forgot to ask y'all that earlier as well, man. So drop it in the comment section, man, what y'all are getting into tonight, man. How we rocking out as we are here on the live, on the late night vibes. Y'all always get curious when we over here. I'm like, hey, man, everybody be tapping in. The feedback is amazing. But I'm always like, yo, man, what are y'all actually doing? Huh? Y'all get to watch me. Y'all see what I'm doing. What y'all doing, though? Okay, have the dope watching some college basketball. Hopefully watching a good game over there. Jeez, man. You know what I'm saying? It is basketball season, all right? Y'all see I got my Chef Curry t-shirt on today, all right? Yeah, I know it's always Team Brown and them, but little man wanted to wear the little... He wanted to wear the little matching shoes, so I was like, this the shirt that matched, matched the best. So that's why I throw it on. You know how I go. But shout out to Heather Dope, man, especially watching that college hoops action out there. Let's see. Ooh, David Decker got that Monday Night Raw popping off. Yes, indeed, on Netflix. Sure, I was just on Netflix before we came up here, man. Me and wifey, man, we started the Gabby Petito little documentary joint, man. That joint's crazy too, man. Shout out to Netflix though, man. They trying to take the game over, man. I seen they were trying to they want to now do, instead of just being for YouTube TV, instead of it just being the Sunday Ticket, they said they now want to get like all the games now, man. They want them CBS and Fox little 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. They want, hey, I need all that. I'm like, yo, dude, hey man, YouTube, y'all gotta chill. Or not YouTube, Netflix. I was like, yo, Netflix, you gotta chill, bro. Netflix, you gotta chill, man. Yeah, Netflix trying to take everything over, man. They're trying to take it all over. All right, let's see who else we got. Craig Ellis said he rocking out in the gym. All right, the homie TG just text me too. Let's see what the homie. Okay, he said he heading out. I bet. Okay. All right, so shout out to the homie. He getting prepared. All right, we'll be tapping in with TG shortly. Shout out. Let me see what else. Let me see who else rocking out the night and what y'all got going on while we wait on the homie. All righty. Ooh, Chris Hobson got the college ball on. Houston versus Texas Tech. I do see that was it. Number 4 Houston versus number 10 Texas Tech. Salute to the gang. Okay. And then Justin Gordon said he just finished up some QB training with his little one. Hey, respect to that. He said getting ready for the 8U season. Okay, now respect. I like that, man. Okay. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to y'all rocking out tonight. Ooh, and Steelers lovers tending to them research plans. Salute to you on that, baby. Quality time is always mandatory. You know that. Always mandatory. And Jay Farrow said just chilling out in the room. Nah, man, you been rocking out tonight. All right, man. I like your feedback, man. I like how you doing this thing, man. So salute you, man. Y'all hit the like button for yourselves as well. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. All right. Like I said, man, definitely appreciate y'all rocking out tonight. Got the homie AJ Martinez. Just dropped a super chat. Shout out to AJ, man. We appreciate you as always. You know we miss you in here, man. So anytime you pull up, salute to you. And it was pretty dope too, man. Got a chance to talk to you most recently, man. A couple weeks, was that 2 weeks ago, man, on the phone lines, man. So salute to you on that. But AJ says, blessings to all. And God bless you all for the birthday wishes. Yeah, because he did turn up for the B-Day. He says, for the B-Day wishes, you all completed my day. Thank you, 5-5 Moats. Bust the move. Let the soul glow. Hey now, if you already know. I dig. And he says, let's go. Shout out to AJ Martinez, man. Did have his birthday, turned up, celebrated like a big dog. And yeah, glad that you are back in the building with us, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we also got Don Juan saying him and his wifey are celebrating their 16th wedding anniversary today. Hey, I like your energy, man. Me and wifey got number 14 coming up soon, so you know I'm excited, man. So shout out to all the lovers in the building, all right? If your team love, man, you know I got love for you, all right? And that's from the heart. That is from the heart. Let's get it, man. But yeah, man, obviously I'm going to talk to TG about this in a little bit, so I was trying to wait on him, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hey, get the way you need to be on time, all right, so we can have this convo. But I guess on the front end, I have to ask you guys myself then, I suppose. Jeez, still over here stalling it out, right? But I did want to go back to that when I was talking about the running back article, right, in terms of the rankings and stuff like that, where I think, like I said, man, MJD, man, he had obviously Najee at that 18th spot, right? And granted, Jaylen Warren didn't fit the criteria to make the list, okay? Didn't fit the criteria according to MJD. But where would y'all rank my man Jaylen Warren at, man? Or, you know, if you're projecting where he would have been on that list, I mean, there was some cool names up there. There was some dudes up there. I'm not going to say y'all shooting blind right here, all right? I'm going to make sure I read off my man Jaylen Warren's stats, obviously, for last season. He ended with, I want to say it was like 5 or was it 600? It was close to that, right? Let me see what my man ended with. Yeah, last season. Yeah, 5'11". He had 5'11" on the ground and a touchdown, right? And then he had another 310 through the air. So as I look at, like I said, just some of them dudes that, you know, 5 on the ground, 3 through the air. I'm like, man, hold on now. Alexander Mattison, he had 420 on the ground and 294 through the air. All right, you heard what I said now. You heard what I said. Jaylen Warren had 5'11 on the ground, 310 through the air. All right. So, granted, the problem was Warren didn't have any starts last year, so that was why Warren technically wasn't eligible for this list. But, I mean, I'm looking at, you know, see, there's another name up here. You might have heard of this one, Javonte Williams, right? Y'all know Javonte Williams. He had him as the 33rd back out of the 74 that started at least one game, had the 20-plus carries. Javonte only had 513 rushing yards, 346 receiving yards. You catch what I'm saying? So, like, to me, when I look at Jaylen Warren, I'm like, it's unfortunate that he just didn't start a single game all of last season. But I am very interested to know where MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, would have ranked Jaylen Warren. Because statistically, his numbers, even though, like I said, he didn't start for us this past season, statistically, his numbers are on par with a lot of these other running backs that MJD talks about. Zach Charbonnet. All right. We know obviously he played in 17 games with the Seahawks this past year. 569 rushing yards. He had 8 rushing touchdowns, but he had another just 340 receiving yards. Jaylen Warren was right in that same convo with the dude like that as well. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just mad that he wasn't healthy. Or it's not that it wasn't healthy. Well, it wasn't all the way healthy, but didn't get that start either. Because I'm like, man, these are all, once again, man, if you're looking at Jaylen Warren and you're trying to figure out how he stacks up against some of these other guys that did start, some of these other guys that have a little bit, you know, more prominent role in some of these offenses, Jerome Ford. I mean, Jerome Ford played a lot this season, right? We obviously know when Nick Chubb, number one, missing the first half of the season with the injury and then even coming back, Ford got a lot more opportunities. Yeah, 565 rushing, 225 through the air, 34th ranked dude. I mean, now, this one a little different because I feel like obviously their situation was very obscure this year. But even Travis Etienne, I'm like, yo, you got Etienne ranked slightly ahead of Chubb, 35th. Etienne had 558 rushing, 254 through the air. And that's, like I said, in the 30s of all the 74 running backs that started at least one game this year and had 20 plus carries this season. To me, man, it does give me a lot more, I guess, reassurance in Jaylen Warren that, yeah, if he is healthy, statistically, even though we still, since we're watching him so closely, right, because he plays for us, at times you could feel like, man, I want more. At times you might feel like, man, he didn't live up to the expectation that we have for him going into year 3, that we have for him after year 2. He had 700 yards on the ground. But yet and still, when you're looking at him compared to some of these other guys who are higher draft pick dudes, guys that are on, higher contracts from a free agency standpoint, that is the part that I look at and I'm intrigued by, because I'm saying to myself, yo, Jaylen Warren, bro, you even with the not surpassing what we personally felt you were capable of, you still were better than a lot of the field. And I think that that's the important part when we're looking at him, but also as we're talking about just our in-house guys, man, whether the upcoming free agents, guys that we might potentially be moving on from a cut standpoint as well. We do have to look and ask ourselves that question. Yes, he might not have lived up to our personal standard, but that player versus the field, how much better is he still than the next best thing or the next thing that we could potentially bring in here? And to me, Jaylen Warren still is stacking up extremely well versus the field, whether you're talking about him as a dude that's a part of a committee, a RB2 type, or if you're even looking to push him to be maybe the feature and put a little, put more emphasis on his playing style and just calling, making him the focal point versus how it's been, where we know it's been predominantly Najee and he is the complementary piece. Maybe this is the reason why you shifted. When you start looking at how some of these other guys who do have more prominent roles, their production doesn't match Jaylen Warren's production. That's the part. I mean, so at least for me, man, that was something that had me considering it as I looked at that list. And once again, because it was Maurice Jones-Drew, former NFL player, did it for a long time, and current NFL analyst, I'm like, yo, you're actively doing it. You're actively watching these dudes. So you do feel, or at least I do feel confident about his analysis of the players that are playing. But I do get the technicality part. The technicality part was, yeah, Jaylen didn't have a single start this year, so he technically wasn't eligible to be on the list. But when you actually got dudes that were nice, even though they didn't start, it's like, hey, man, I could definitely see some names of people that I would be like, yo, take him off the list. All right, I could for certain see that. And I'm like, yo, he can go, and definitely he can go. All right. But unfortunately, that ain't the situation right here with this list, man. But I said, man, shout out to Jaylen Warren, though, man, because, yeah, he's one of those dudes, man, that's been a breath of fresh air since coming into the league and since joining the squad, man. Even as an undrafted dude, the production has not, left us wanting more, even though with the higher expectations. It's still, when you're just looking at him solely from an undrafted free agent standpoint, everything that he's done has been above and beyond exceeding expectations. It's just because he's exceeded so much of them expectations, now it's time. All right. And yeah, you're right, Kenneth Moses, man. The homie TG probably will be, with a 4-piece and 2 sides. Man, you're gonna have them hush puppies with him over there, man. Shout out to the homie TG. We'll be talking to him in a little bit. But like I said, if you was digging that convo, man, about the homie Jaylen Warren, and ultimately, man, just trying to figure out where we ranking him at in comparison to some of these other backs that's out here in the league. Yeah, man, you hit the like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Alrighty. Shoot, man, do be taking forever over here, man. These coaches, these coaches working, man. He working. Shout out to my dog to be working though, man. What they say? Can't complain about the dudes, man. All right. Shout out to the homies though. All right. Let's see. We got the homie Justin Gordon also dropping a super chat. All right, get that. All right, the homie Justin Gordon says, Eagles killed their first and second picks last year. Who is the Steelers' surefire 1-2 punch in this draft on offense, on defense, or on each side of the ball? In terms of the 1-2 punch, on offense, I mean, I guess you're projecting when you're saying, yeah, who's the 1-2 punch in this draft on offense defense for the Steelers. So, I don't think it's as simple as you're trying to make it. I do agree, though, that Philly has definitely killed their first 2 draft picks past 2 seasons, but also look at where they picked those players at. And I think that would also be a big indicator as to like why them dudes did what they did. All right. But I like what you're saying. I like the direction that you're going with that, though. But in terms of the 1-2 punch first round player for me, I'm obviously thinking, I guess the layup is always wide receiver, right? When you're just talking about what the biggest need is, to me, I think you need a playmaker. I think you need a big time dude out there, wide receiver, a guy that can make any quarterback right. Because unfortunately, I don't share the same belief that a lot of people have about any, just quarterback coming here and, light it up, or the guys that a lot of guys are more optimistic about. I personally have a lot more questions about. So to me, I look at the wide receiver and I say, that has to be it. And we're specifically talking the draft because that was the question, right? You didn't say free agency. You said the 1-2 punch in this draft on offense or on defense. All right. So with that, that's what we focus on, specifically on drafted players, no free agent type of guys. All right. But to me, like I said, man, I would start off at wide receiver, man. And Emeka Egbuka, man, obviously that's one of the names that continues to jump out to me. I mean, I would love T-Mac. Teteroy McMillan. I would love that player to drop to us. I did see a couple reports over the weekend where they were saying how, he might potentially fall out of that top 5, top 10 range. And I'm like, yeah, if you falling out of that, then maybe that, could intrigue the Steelers to want to move up potentially. But he would be the first guy that I would say. I think that he would be that bona fide number 1 or an electric 1B to GP. So to me, I would go with him as my, standout, what'd you call him? Surefire 1-2 punch. That would be the offensive side of it. Then from a defensive standpoint, I'm torn, man, because I'm like, I feel like a D lineman is definitely something that we need to be targeting. But at the same time, I'm like, I can see some of these D lineman options in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, in free agency, I'm like, we don't necessarily have to go this route because perfect world, I would love to go wide receiver round 1. And then I'm trying to spend the block. And if Najee's gone, I'm going to want to give me a running back in round 2. All right. That's just how I look at it. I want to do the double dip if I could. Okay. But if not, then I'm going to go one of these big body interior D linemen. Me personally, as much as I love what Mason Graham presents from a pass rushing standpoint, I do kind of lean a little bit more towards the traditional nose, and that's the Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. I lean a little bit more towards him. I like him a little bit more just because of, like I said, the true traditional frame that he brings. But there are a couple of interior D linemen, man, that to me, I think would be excellent pieces to bring in, and that could not only help Cam out, could help Keanu Benton out, but it also helps out these linebackers, man. Keeping dudes up off of Patrick Queen, keeping dudes up off of Peyton Wilson. Shout out to the Peyton Wilson, dropped the film session on him, right? Just showing a little bit of what he was doing in that playoff game against the Ravens, right? First playoff game for Peyton Wilson. Thought he played really well. But he's one of those guys to me, man, that I'm just like, imagine if he's playing behind Kenneth Grant. Imagine if he's playing behind a Talik Williams. Imagine if he's playing behind a TJ Sanders out of South Carolina, a Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. Like, those are the type of dudes that I'm saying, man, not only can they control the line of scrimmage versus the run, but they're also penetrators versus the pass, man. Their ability to convert. Some of these dudes like Talik Williams, man, I think that dude has like super high end potential to be a pass rusher from the anterior part of the D line. That's the 1-2 punch, right? When you're talking about give me some production on offense from the draft, give me production on defense from the draft. We talked about what Philly did. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, those are draft picks, man. All within the past 2-3 years, man. Draft picks, high-end picks though, right? High-end pedigree guys, but came out and balled. You talk Cooper DeJean, you talk Quinyon Mitchell. These are high pedigree draft picks, man. Balling though, bro. So when I think of that, that's kind of my approach to the 1-2 punch. Oh, excuse me, that one. But I think there, like I said, man, a lot of ways we can go with that thing right there, man. So we shall see. We shall see. Let me see the homie. All right. Looks like we might have a homie ready to roll. Okay, let's see the follow up. If he ready, we're gonna go ahead and call him up. You know that? Yeah. All right. Okay. I got them little dots popping off right now on the text, so I know he's texting back. So you see me over here stalling a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, let's get it. This be the fun part, man. Cause I'm like, yo, I ain't talked to him ahead of time, so you know how it is. When she's hitting him up like, hey, bro, you good? You ready? You sure? All right, make sure you solid. You good? Just make sure you good. I ain't doing that. I'm just drinking some Gatorade, vibing up with the gang. Shout out to the chat. But all right. Ooh, I see Somber. Okay. Y'all brought up some names in here. So this the other part, man. I'm so used to Dig or having a second set of eyes in here on the chat. When I'm in here just vibing up like I just was, I be forgetting to look back at the chat, man. So let me get back to y'all real quick. Let me shout out to y'all, man. Hit the like button for yourselves, all right? Because y'all rocking out, man. So appreciate y'all guys, man. And appreciate the feedback as well. Letting me know that y'all are here. And of course, he gonna text me while I'm texting y'all. All right, while I'm talking to y'all. But see, Somber, he says D-line, wide receiver, or cornerback. And then he's either, if he doesn't go wide receiver, cornerback, then he's going to flip it and go cornerback, wide receiver. Then he also says running back as well is what he's going to be targeting. Josiah Williams says we need a nose tackle for real. And I agree. That's why I was looking at a guy like Kenneth Grant, or when I was doing, when I was talking about Dalvin Tomlinson, potential guy that might get cut from the Browns. I might drop a film session on him because he's another one of those interior nose tackle, big body D linemen that could really boost our run game. Aaron Grant likes Kenneth Grant. And I see the connection right there. He likes him at pick 21. Jay Farrell also said that Peyton Wilson and Deshaun Elliott breakdowns are fire. So salute to you for tapping in on both of those. Yeah, man. The Deshaun Elliott and Milton Williams, who's the interior D lineman from the Philadelphia Eagles, dropped the Deshaun Elliott and Milton Williams film session to the public. That's been available it was yesterday time frame, right? So those have been available, but we also did a third one on Peyton Wilson. If I remember correctly, he was the one that was for members only. All right. So with that one though, shout out to all the members, right? My upper room members out there. That's the special one for y'all guys. All right. Y'all get the early access, and I might start doing more and more, or I might start doing more of those type of videos for the upper room people as well too, man, because there's a lot of y'all over there, man. Got to keep y'all happy. All right. Shout out to y'all. But all right. I definitely like that. And Cody James says we should re-sign Javon Hargrave. Shout out the Wob. I'm always down for that. I mean, it's the homie. Anybody who was one of my teammates, anybody that I played with, I got love for them. So, never could tell Wob, I won't want him over here. Bump that. Come on now. And shout out to Brandon Griffin as well. He says, love the Nightcast, man. And he says, take your time with it. Take your time. Man, you notice what we on tonight, man. You know how we do. All righty. Let me get this here graphic up and ready to roll. And then we'll hit up the homie TG. All righty. Be over here in my producer bag. Hit that like button one time for the culture. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Let's talk to the homie.
Hello.
Yeah, what's the word?
My God.
Let's get it.
You hear the
Let's.
loud noises. I'm in here. What's up,
My dog said, if you hear some loud
man?
noise, just know I'm getting active. All
Loud
right.
noises.
I just
Don't
know,
blink.
man.
Yeah. You know?
Salute to my dog. Salute
Loud
to my
noises,
dog.
man. Just,
So,
still at the office work days, just trying to be top defenses, man. That's all. That's all.
salute to my dog. I figured
Man.
that was the case. Is like I always said, man. I'm always respectful of your time, so I ain't gonna hold you for too long, guy. But I know the
Oh,
people they
God.
just love to hear from you. You know how that goes, man.
Man,
So,
I be missing the people, man.
the people that be
You
over
know?
here like, yo, where is he at? We need to hear this man. Where he at? Who he talking to? I be like, all right, I got y'all, man. All right, so let me drop the intro real quick because we all joined right now by that one and only Pittsburgh Steelers alum. I'm talking about that West Virginia mountaineer. They say it's almost heaven there, but he's also one half of the locker mates. And specifically, he was my freaking locker mate, all right? And he's the current
dog.
defensive coordinator of Norfolk State University. Behold the green and the gold. I'm talking about the one and only Terence Garvin, aka TG. Oh,
Yeah.
it's him. It's him. Yeah, man. You know how you do, TG. You know the people like you, man. Come on, man. Don't even play like that. How you been, though, man? Everything good with your hood, man?
Man, everything's so good, man.
Nice.
Life,
Hey,
working, getting after it.
hey, that's how it's supposed to be, man. You already know that, man. So I figured, man, we'll start it off, man. We did have some in-house moves, man. We're the black and gold, man. Brought in a new member, Donald Parham Jr.
Yeah.
Big, tall cat, man. Played with the Chargers for the past couple of years. Last year, rocking out on P Squad with the Broncos. But man, what you know about young Donald Parham, man?
Let me ask you a question. Did he come? Because I wasn't sure. He came from the XFL, correct?
Yes, if I remember correctly. Yes, that is accurate. Yes.
I remember. I played against him.
Oh.
Not even that it was that. I played against him. But yeah, he was in the XFL. I remember the name because
Okay.
he went to the Chargers. He was one of the few that did land, made it to the Chargers. Athletic dude, 6'6".
Yeah.
Long, good frame, good range. More of a
My dog TG said, man, I played
tight
against that cat, man. Hold on now. Yeah.
When I seen the name, I was like, I know that name, man.
And so he was with the Arlington Renegades in 2020.
Yeah.
Yep, Arlington Renegades.
He was pretty good.
Yep.
He was good. I was the St. Louis team, and Arlington was like the arch rival per se.
Ooh, okay. Talk your talk.
He's a pro though, man. Long dude, athlete, big dude, 6'6", nice framework. Can go up and get it.
How he move in space to you, man?
Athlete. I think he's athlete. Can move in space, do a couple things. Not the, people grow, not the super blocker. But I got the ability to block. Football player.
Yeah.
I think that's intriguing. I think that's a best available scenario for. I just feel like there's a lot of tight ends in the building. I think that's a deep little position. So that just got a little bit.
I was gonna ask you, body type wise, he's not as. His frame isn't as filled out as Darnell Washington, but he has the height that Darnell brings and some of the receiving ability. Is that the comp to Darnell Washington now? Or how do you feel about that, man?
I don't think that's a Darnell Washington.
Okay. Because Darnell, we obviously know, like, that's another big dude that we saw catch some passes this year. That's what, you played against him. We asking you now, baby. Heck yeah.
I think that's what he is. He's big dude that can catch passes. He's an athlete. Big wingspan.
He looked like a hooper, bro. When I was looking at the tape, I'm like, bro, you play basketball, bro. Yeah.
It's a big tight end.
Like, his 6'8" looks 6'8". Yeah.
Like, he's a big boy. Is he 6'8" or 6'6"?
I thought it said 6'8". That's what I thought he said. let me double check. I thought he said 6'8".
Yeah, I think he's more of a.
Cause I'm like, bro, that's Big tall. Yeah. They got up 6'8", 237 is what they have on listed as.
Big boy.
I'm
big
like,
boy.
bro, 6'8". Let me see. Darnell real quick.
And I mean, 6'8", 237 isn't just a bodybuilder, you know? But that's good size, man.
And in comparison, they got Darnell Washington 6'7", 264.
Okay.
So you can see that's about 30 plus pounds on the frame.
And that's what I'm saying. That's Darnell Washington is down there.
God dang.
Darnell Washington is down there like another tackle. That's
extra offensive lineman type that could run routes.
Extra lineman. Yeah, that's that. Oh, this is more like I'll go out and catch a pass. I can help in the pass game. You can split me out and create this 11 personnel and make it into 10 personnel.
Okay.
You know?
Little jump ball action, yeah.
Yeah, just helping the athlete. Maybe create a mismatch, you know? Just athlete, you know?
I like it, though. I like it. So, as a whole, though, man, just good move for right now in terms of this time of year?
I think it's a good move. I don't think it's a bad move. Yeah. I don't think that's I just don't think that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
He didn't sign nothing crazy.
No, that's a 1 year.
Yeah, that's a battle. Let's get out here and compete. Let's see who the best tight end we can get in here is.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, respect on that, man. Respect.
Yeah, to me, that's more of that. That's not so much just game. Like, and I'm not discrediting nothing about him.
No, you get. Hey, listen, man. You know? You are more qualified to talk about him than any of us because you actually played against the man. Come on, bro. You laced him up against the fella. So when I look at him, I'm like, yo, I see the same things you see in terms of the athleticism. I personally like the story, knowing that he had the adversity of XFL, and then even last year being on P Squad in Denver. Because it's like, man, now you really, really hungry. So how are you going to respond is what I want to see.
He was on the Chargers.
He was on the Chargers for 4 years. Yeah, he did the Chargers for 4.
He went and locked in with the Chargers.
Yeah.
He was on the Chargers.
Yeah, but all of last year he was P Squad. So it's like, you know how that is, man. You go from you got a bigger role.
Ups and downs,
yeah, heck yeah. he had a role and then it got decreased. And now how do you respond to open competition now? Yeah. We signed you early in the offseason. You know how the offseason signing is, man. This the dude that you're gonna be competing with in the weight room. First day you pull up at OTA phase 1. This is the guy you going at. You know what I mean?
I think it represent. Yeah, to me it represent. 2-3 dogs, one bone. Like everybody won't stay. It's a person that gets to know your system, know the way of the land, or know the way of the Steeler land. Get to see how to act. It's kind of somebody that if something does happen in the tight end room, this would be somebody that comes in ASAP, or you just sort that out amongst the competition. It might be a practice squad guy. It might be a guy that sticks, And you see somebody, you see a cap casualty, or you just see somebody that...
it can happen. Weirder things have happened before, bro. Weirder things have happened.
So, I mean, opportunity favors the prepared. So it's like somebody that's got a chance to go out there and do something. You gotta see what it is, But it's a player that can help.
Now, last one I have in terms of Donald, any special teams? Do you see him giving us any type of production or any type of contributions in that avenue?
I think he has to. You got to think you got a Connor Hayward who's
he a dog on that thing, low key though, bro. I'm about to say Connor be going out there getting tackles, bro. I'm like, yo, you don't get too many offensive guys that play teams like how he be trying to play. I'm like, all right, you got the mindset.
I don't think he's coming in there signing to be the day one, play one, starting tight end.
Well,
so if you're not,
do you think he's number 2 capable? Because we were saying if obviously Muth is the big money guy in the room, opposite of him, it's Michael Pruitt is Darnell Washington, Carnell Washington at times. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But it's like Connor and Michael Pruitt got the same body types. Now you got 2 6'7", 6'8" cats in there. That's what I'm trying to like.
Connor and Michael Pruitt both represent pass catchers also.
Yes.
So you're competing with pass catchers. It's not like you're coming in. I always go back to old school Matt Spade, but he was there to block.
Big Spaith. Shout out to Big Spaith. Shout out to Big Spaith, man.
And it was like he was the blocker. Like I think
Yeah.
Darnell Washington per se is a little bit more of the blocker than they see
Respect.
him as a pass catcher.
Okay.
So that solidifies his per se
His
blocker
role.
aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a role for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas with
But
Donald,
it's kind of
he's
like
not that right now.
the role that's being competed for sounds real similar to like they're all similar body types compete for that role. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a good one.
Nah, salute, man. Salute. Yeah, like I said, man, when I seen it, I was like, all right, this could be good. This could be a little good one right here, man. All right. Another in-house housekeeping thing, man. I just figured I'd ask you about it. Eric Rowe, you obviously know he played safety here, man, past 2 seasons. Played a lot a year ago, man, when we had the injuries pile up. But not any this time, man, because obviously Minka and Deshaun Elliott healthy the whole season, right? But he was saying how, the reports are he's supposed to be hitting the market, but he wants to come back. He said his focus is he wants to be here in Pittsburgh. I did want to just get your thoughts on having older players as depth guys versus, where everybody tries to go always young, trying to go draft. Is there anything about an Eric Rowe or that type of player that would even, intrigue you versus going the draft route?
I think the security, the confidence, I think you like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a blessing and a curse too, because you know what you get.
Okay. So talk about your blessing and your curse.
Like I think the blessing in it is you know what you get. Like you know what you're gonna get. You know what you're not having to guess. If you feel confident in what you're getting out of that ability and what you see, and this is a pro, this is maturity. Like it's just certain things you feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting. The curse is you know what you're getting. So it's kind of like, the only thing better than something new is something new.
Yeah.
So it's like with the draft, with these young boys, the new faces, the new energy, you might feel like you catch because you always feel like you're getting that one diamond in the rough, man. This is the guy that steals everything.
Why do we always believe that we got him? We always got the diamond.
This is the steal, man. This is
steal of the draft, bro. We got the steal of the
this
draft.
Is Justin Jefferson, and everybody slept on it, and I got it. Like this is,
Oh man, yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of like you know what you're getting. It's not new. It's not exciting. It's only like you know what you're getting, which can be a little bit. I think it just can put you in a little hole. Because it's like you're not going to just super put that in front of somebody else that you feel as though.
Because you've seen too much of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen too much. Or you might just not put that in front of somebody you haven't seen enough of. So it's kind of like, it kind of just puts you in one of those spots where you're waiting. You wait and you're seeing what's kind of out here. I think it's okay. I think it's okay to have a vetty guy. Like I think that's, like I said, blessings and curses. Yeah. But I think it don't make it that they're in a hurry to have to make a move on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like you just still here. Like I don't have to make a move on you right now. I can't make it just kind of makes you still in a sense.
Yeah, because and I would agree, man. The other side that I was looking at, obviously you were focusing more on the gift and the curse of knowing it. I was looking even also at the mentorship element potentially that you get from him, or even competition that you get from him being there with the young guy Ryan Watts, who was it 6th round draft pick a year ago, ended up getting hurt and was on IR. But it's like if you big Texas, So it's like if obviously we're transitioning him last year from corner to safety. If you want to have somebody that can compete with him, but at the same time not feel like it's a headshot, so to speak, Eric Rowe does kind of present that as well. And that was the thing that I kind of looked at from that angle of, all right, if he is going to be trying to come back, what would make it appealing from the Steelers' perspective? That was the one thing that I kind of fell on. But how'd you feel about that, man?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, Ryan Watts is exciting.
He is, man. Big athlete.
Because it's a corner. He's really a corner.
You see it, right?
It's a 6'4" corner that they moved to say, and that's the whole
low key
part
to me, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it all goes back to what you're gonna get versus what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like this Ryan Watts per se, maybe that's the competition it's in. you don't all the way know what you're gonna get, but you kind of, because you got to see it, you know what you're gonna get, but you don't know. So it's young, exciting. It could turn out to be, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's got cool kits and pieces to be real special in a sense. So it's like you don't know what you're gonna get, but you know what you're gonna get. To where I think guys like that are young and exciting. I think those are, even though you say it's experience and vetty that you get from the vet, it's kind of like, I was really going to ask, like, during preseason, does that even really factor like that?
Yeah. I mean, like, how preseason get, man. Shoot. We be in that thing like, yeah, that vet status can hurt you a little bit, because if it's close, how Coach T looking anyways, man. If it's close with the young boy, I'm gonna go with the young guy. Young guy, yeah, man. If you prove that you're close enough to this vet from a production standpoint, from a mental process and information standpoint, yeah, man, I'll keep you around. And Ryan Watts, homegrown draft pick, that's an added element to it as well, man. So there are definitely parts to it, man. But I would also say this, man. Special teams value. I do feel like Ryan Watts is going to at least project to have a higher ceiling there than Rowe right now, just because through his 10 years, that's not what he's done. He's been a dude that plays on defense, Right. So when you're looking at the special teams part, I do feel like for Ryan Watts, it's like, yeah, that's a little bit more, at least early on, something that's going to be in his wheelhouse as well.
Because, it's not what you're capable of, it's what you're willing to do.
Big facts.
It's the whole, like, I think a young guy gonna come in here and do, and not that an old guy wouldn't, but a young guy gonna come in here and do whatever you ask him to do. Like,
you see, that young guy, hey, I need you to go run down on this play. I need you to come back on that play. I need you to stand over here on this play and come back and do that play. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The vet will be like, hey, bro, why are we doing that again?
You know what I mean?
We ain't got to do it this way. We can do it this way, and that worked better, right? Yeah.
It's different. It's just different, right?
You say zero resistance for the young guy. Zero resistance. He just, yes, sir. I'm up here. Late round pick 2. Yeah, I got you, bro. I'm here.
Hey, what do you need me to do? Let's get it done.
And Rowe might look back like, hey, what'd you say, bro? Why that? Why? I just need to know. What are you thinking? What you see?
Let's just get it done. Like, so you can always teach the new dog.
Yeah.
New dog, new tricks.
Yeah.
The old dog, new tricks is what it's for.
Nah, respect on that, man. Respect on that. All right, if y'all digging the convo right now with the homie TG, Terence Garvin, y'all make sure you hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. TG, man, they saying Nick Chubb. That's the new. That's the latest. That's the name. I said, uh-oh. No, is that the guy we should have interest in? Is that the guy I should be getting excited about? I mean, obviously, Chubb, when he was healthy, Chubb was one of the ones. He was one of the ones, but I gotta ask you now, how you feeling about Chubb? Because it's been a couple years now since we've seen healthy Chubb. Now, it's been about 2 years, baby. It's been about 2 years. But when he was out there, he was healthy. Chubb was chubbing. Chubb do.
Man, Chubb's a bad boy.
He came back from the Minka. He came back from the Minka injury, bro. He made it back. He ain't let that be his last thing, man. And he touched paint a couple of times this past season, bro.
Yeah. How much is that going to cost?
It can't be anything crazy. I mean, if it was 2 years ago when he was on the big boy deal, I think different convo. But at this stage, what we talking, bro? Bro, you blew your knee. We got the whole blowout, and then you came back. It looked good when you came back, but I'm like, bro, you blew your whole knee out, bro. I can't just give you back.
I'm getting that total discount.
Yeah, bro. I'm talking about like this is the owl where the can had dropped off the shelf, and it's got that dent in it. It's still that Campbell's. It's still fire, but the can is dented up now. So we got question marks about it. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not gonna pay full price for the dented joint, this the floor model, the one that they got touched on a little bit too much. It's still a 60+ inch flat screen 4K joint, you dig? But it's got some residue on it. You like, hey bro, I don't know about this one all the way just yet. I can't pay full price for this one, right? So we're operating under the premise that it should be discounted heavily, or we'll just say cheaper than Najee. It should be cheaper than Najee, right?
I was gonna say it
has to be cheaper than Najee, right? Healthy Najee got to get at least 10. Yeah, he's in that convo. I don't see Chubb getting 10. Do you?
You can't give you 10.
I'm like, bro, I know you Chubb, and I know 2 years ago you would have got 13, 14 maybe, but this ain't that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't give you 10, but nah. I mean, if you can get it for a good deal, I think you got a good deal. You feel me?
I mean,
you got a good deal.
You would still have Jaylen Warren coming back, so you're not looking at him as having to take all of it. You know what I mean? Like, he would at least have somebody that you feel confident splitting carries with, and then depending on who your third guy is, it could. I don't know if that third guy was Naj. I don't see that.
I'm all for the big back. I think you want to get you a scat back. Like, I mean,
what's Nick Chubb to you right now, though?
Big back. Big back. Run you over. I think he's a home run. He is a home run, but he's not a home run anymore. We're not gonna do that. We're not just gonna label him a home run. Like, he's a top 10 player.
Oh man, he booby miles to you, man. Why you booby miles in that man, bro? You booby miles in that man. Come on, TG, man. Why you treat him like booby miles, man?
I'm a Chubb guy, man.
Oh, man.
You're not gonna do that.
I heard how you was talking. Your belief just don't seem like you believed it all the way, bro. What's up, man?
I'm a Chubb guy.
He said, I can't just call it a home run anymore. I gotta see it still.
I just want to see it. It's been a couple of years. Not the big.
It was a really nasty car crash we see to take. Yeah.
It was a nasty car.
It was a nasty car. It was nasty, and we ain't seen it get back to pre-accident just yet. Yeah.
Right. And that's all that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that he ain't. Like, I think he's Chubb. Like,
I mean, the fact that he came back last year was insane to me, man. I'm like, dude, I seen how that injury looked. Oh, but he came back, was able to still give you about 300 on the ground, couple touchdowns, and went through the air. So it was like, he still did get back, but the number has to be cheap. I mean, for Nick Chubb, what you looking? 1 year, $3 million? Like something like that. I ain't tripping on.
If I can get something like that, let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that like the OG prove it deal? Like, when that is it 3.25 now? 3.25? You know the deal. Everybody get that same little 1 for 3. All right, that's your prove it. If you can prove it, then we'll re you up and get you something nice. But that's
if it's something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, let's do it.
Now, would you?
That.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You know what I'm saying? I like that deal. If it's something like that, let's shake it up. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But it got to be a good deal. Like, that's the big part of it. Like, the deal aspect. It's not the runner at that point. It's the deal.
Because you still feel like he is capable of being productive. Just obviously not money-wise crazily, because you still have questions, which rightfully so. But
yeah, I can't just straight pay it like that.
Okay.
Like, I need to see things.
And now, lastly, if Chubb was the guy, right, and he was the guy that we're getting for, that $3 million range, which I would love, right? Mm-hmm. What you doing? Is that the complete end of Najee because you feel like now I got 2 power backs, or is Najee still potentially a part of your thought process for free agency? Or are you just completely going a different direction if Chubb is here?
Man, if you bring Chubb, you let Najee go.
All right, respect.
You know.
They can't coexist, what you saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I ain't hating it. I kind of agree. I feel like, man, you talking about 2 powerful volume carry guys, though. It's like, man, and y'all stylistically are very similar. I mean, and obviously Chubb pre-injury was different, but post-injury, we got to see it. So I'm with you on that one, man. I'm with you, but yeah, shout out, man. I like the fact that you was open to the Chubb talk, though, man. I ain't know how you was gonna feel about it all the way, So shout out. All right, now, as we all
know, I'm not anti-Chubb. I'm with the Chubb movement a little bit.
Yeah,
but I just don't. That might not be the one.
No, respect. Because like I said, man, Chubb, when I was talking, when I first seen it. I'm like, man, pre-injury Chubb was like the prototype, just pure running back. He wasn't the Derrick Henry big body, like insane 18-wheeler. He wasn't the Saquon or McCaffrey, but it was like, if you just talking just true OG dot back, like that's Chubb. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Vision, contact, balance, all the good stuff. You know how he played, man. Alrighty. I did want to ask you this too, man. I saw this recently pop up, man. They had the obviously competition committee meetings are getting ready to start up, and they were talking about some of the potential rule changes or things they trying to get banned, and from an unidentified team, they were trying to they proposed banning the tush push. Mm-hmm. So I had to get your thoughts on what's your, you know what I mean, how your energy on potentially banning the tush push. Now they didn't identify which team, but a team has, you know, proposed the tush push be banned. So what's your energy on it, man?
I'm cool with banning the tush push person. Hey, I'm cool with it.
And why was that, man?
I just think, like, I remember a time when Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart.
Versus Notre Dame. Yup.
Man, it was such a big deal.
It was controversial as heck, bro.
Do that.
Remember, and that was when they were undefeated too. And that was like, yo, if that didn't go, they would have lost. That was a big deal.
I remember they used to blow the ball dead, and I don't want to say it sound old, but they used to blow the ball dead, and like the ball stops right there.
Yeah. You know, like, I forgot why they ruled the Reggie Bush. They said, I forgot what the technicality was behind it, because we all said the same thing. Like, yo, he pushed him. You can't do that. It was some type of technicality that they had. It was like, no, he did this. He was back. I remember. I was like, bro, what?
But his back was turned. A big deal that linemen couldn't do that. Like, it's a big deal.
I mean, even the rugby scrum that we've been seeing that happens post, or not, like when the play's not dead, but the ball carrier is clearly stopped, and you'll see like the O-line dang near pick him up and carry him an extra 5 yards or push him an extra 5. It's like, yo, that used to be blown dead right then as well. So all of it has kind of evolved as we're seeing.
I'm with you. And I mean, bro, I don't, like, to me, I just feel like it evolved for the fact that they were trying to make it a safer game in a sense. So they brought the rugby aspect into it, where it's like, no, just let that push go on a little bit. Because you see a lot of people score over that. I've seen Jaylen Warren have a lot of
most of people that score. Heck yeah,
still getting pushed. You know, so like,
I mean, that was that Seattle Seahawks game, right?
Was it Seahawks?
I want to say it was Seahawks game a year, 2 years, or not last year, the year before that, though, out there, yeah. One of them dudes got carried it from like 5 yards out. Heck yeah.
You see it. So, you know, like, it's cool. You know what I mean? I think, I don't know. I personally think they could go without it. I think you could take that out, because I think it is unstoppable at this point. I think it's hit unstoppable.
I mean, outside, I think Philly is the only one. The second closest one was Josh Allen, the Bills one, where he was it 37-39. But you saw in that playoff game where the Chiefs did stop them a couple of times. So I'm like, I've seen a couple of times where teams did stop. I want to say the Eagles got stopped like once this year. You know, got called for something, right? Or did we just feel like, man, it's too much right now? Or is it just the optics for you? Which one is it?
Let's go in a different route. Let's go and take that out. Like, I think they do one thing the league does is the league doesn't want to see anything get spammed, per se.
Okay.
You know, like, you're not just gonna...
Everybody cheat code. This is the cheat code, so everybody just do this over and over and over until you can stop it.
You're not going to do that. And once it hits points like that...
That's the Madden. They would not let you do that. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take that out. You know? So,
hey, they said,
I can see that getting out. I think it's time, because the Eagles play 4-down football. It affects their whole game.
Oh, no, it changes everything about when you're playing Philly. Like, that's a game changer, man. That's the analytic approach, though, of why teams do talk about going forward on 4th down and winning, why you should do it and thoughtfully aggressive. But this is definitely evolved past the analytical part. It's literally you're getting 2 yards guaranteed, bro. You just got to get to 4th and short, 4th and 2, and you good.
You got to treat Like, you got to treat Philly second down like it's third down.
No, facts.
You got to push that behind
Shit.
they're fourth down. If they're close enough, it's on.
You better heat them up on second down. And that's like when you're not supposed to touch it at all. You say, hey, chill. Just chill real quick. But, yeah, you got to be thoughtfully aggressive with them, man. No, that's real. That's real. But, yeah, but if you ban it, though, isn't that just, I don't know, man. It feels like a cop-out a little bit, though, right? Like, as a competitor, as a linebacker, as a defender, I'm like, no, bro, you mean to tell me we really couldn't stop this? Like, nobody, none of the great defensive minds, none of the great defensive players, none of the dogs out there, nobody from the Spags, the Tomlins, the everybody in betweens and all the different players, nobody can come up with a way to stop the tush push, and we just gotta just ban it? We treat it like it's the 5-yard jam rule. Like, yo, it's Mel Blount out there, bro. We can't nobody can get off the line. All right. So just you can't press him past 5 yards. Mel Blount is on you. It's your fault. Like, that's what we at right now. Like, that's crazy, bro.
I think you do gotta go ahead and ban it though.
No, granted, I got a lot of pride with it. So I think that's what's making me not I just can't accept it, TG. Like, why? You can't
but
figure
it has shown on that Redskin, Commander moment was
it was nuts.
Bad.
Shout out to Frankie Louisville.
Yeah. Because they got to a point, and it was such a crucial moment. But it got to a point where you heard the man say, man, we're just going to give him that point if we keep having it. And it's like, nah.
And that was kind of crazy when he said that. You saw we all reacted.
I'll be honest. Yeah. They should have went right back at it. You should have showed me.
You're going to have to show me you can score him. You're going to have to show me you can give him a touchdown. Otherwise, you're going to have to call a different play. Yeah, make him call a different play.
Giving them nothing.
No.
You know, so I think that makes it tough, though. And for those reasons, I think you ban stuff like that. Like, man, let's get this out the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're real, man. I think you bring up great points when you talk about the spamming part of it. Yeah, they don't want that. And for me, even competitively, it's different than what I would deem like hurry up offense. Because I'm like, oh, well, what about the hurry up offense? Or what about the no huddle? Or what about 4 strong? And I'm like, all of that's well and good, but none of that has the success rate that the tush push has been operating with over the past 3 years now. I mean, that's like exclusively the only play that's dang near 99% successful. Like, they need a yard. They get in the yard when they call that play, man. Whereas you talk hurry up offense, man, you can still get off the field versus hurry up offense. You talk no huddle, or not no huddle, you talk empty personnel, 13 personnel, all the different groupings. You can successfully combat that.
Right.
But
I mean, bro, not even to be a defensive guy, but they've banned too many ways to tackle somebody for you to allow such an offensive advantage to come through.
Like that's the energy.
Like, like you banned the way you can tackle.
You know what?
How you hit.
I can't even land on the quarterback the same way. I gotta land my body weight to the side, going full speed while he do. You know what? Yeah, I'm with you. Get the tush push out of here, man. Spit that fire, like, TG. Yeah.
I don't like. As a defender, like, man, there's so much stuff we can't do to where it's like, man, let's get this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and get that out of the game, man.
Yeah, man. We can't hit you high across the field. You look at it sideways when we hit you low across the field. Well, you know what, man? Take that up out of here. No tush push then, my briggity brother. How about that? I like that. I see how you did that right there. I see how you did that. That was smooth.
Take that tush push out. Let's hoop. You know?
Respect on that, man. Respect. No, that's real. Because, yeah, the game has been heavily altered in favor, rules-wise at least, to favor offense. So, yeah, we could definitely get a bone. Help us out, por favor. Help us out. All righty. Well, last thing I got for you, because it is 10 o'clock, and like I said, I know you grinding. All right? Championship defense. I know you doing your thing. You, Coach Mike Vick, the head coach down there in Norfolk State. I know y'all beholding the green and go, y'all doing it right. All right, I'm a fan. All right. So I'm gonna just spin the block again with you now. So last time I talked to you, let's see, we was at 50 mil in salary cap. Then it got up to 60 mil once we moved on from Preston. And we still got the potential, if we make about another handful of moves, just releasing wise, that we could get around 80 million. Yeah, real quick. Okay. But we're currently sitting at 60 plus now, and we keep seeing the different names, right? Matthew Stafford, he's reportedly looking for 50 mil per. He's currently getting 40, and he said, anything. The Rams have said that, hey, he's open and he's allowed to talk and see if he can get a better deal elsewhere. He wants 50, but we ain't got to give him 50, but he's looking for, basically more than 40, right? So he's one of the names, but there are plenty of other names that we talked about, some of these different receiver options as well. 60 plus mil right now to the cap. We got to spend. We don't get to take it with us. That's the other part with the new CBA. You got to spend it. So how you feeling, man? Any new names, any new person making you feel some type of way about how you would want to spend this here salary cap abundance that we have?
Nah. Ain't nobody moved me yet.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford. That's entertaining. That's gonna be high.
Yeah. That's 40 plus. You're looking at 40 plus.
High a little bit. But I think you build it up.
Because even draft wise, you gotta spend. Even the draft ain't gonna be enough to spend that much, man.
Like, it's nobody. I don't mean to be like that. That just moves the mountain to me right now.
Yeah.
It just has you like, man, I gotta have that.
So you think it's more of a combo of names? I'm still on the Justin Fields train. Like, no, I'm with you on that. That's fine. But even if we're gonna pay him best case scenario $20 million, we still are gonna have. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part where I'm like,
then you gonna match it up with a Danny Dimes. Or you can't match it up with one of them. Basically, same script as last year.
Okay.
Just you put him on top.
Okay. I ain't know how you felt about any of these receivers, man. I seen a Chris Godwin name pop up. I was like, hold on now. Let me see how my dog feel about Godwin. Is it that don't tickle?
I like Chris Godwin.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure. I'm like, Godwin, he ain't nice. How you feel about him, man? Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay.
I ain't got like that.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Healthy.
Okay.
Big body.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's similar to what you brought in last year, though, where it's like, it's beat up. It's on its more back end than front end, where it's like, what do you get out of this?
But you don't think I could get more out of that than what I had last year?
I just think you're getting a name out of it bigger than anything. I think it turns into a guy first.
Okay.
I think you're getting the name. You're getting the name first.
Okay.
Like, let's see what it is, but you're getting the name.
Okay. Because, see, to me, I thought with Godwin, man, I at least felt like that when healthy, the production has been higher as a whole than what we were just working with in terms of, wide receivers opposite George Pickens.
No, for sure.
Yeah. But now, the other name that I had saw too, and I didn't know how you felt about this one because different body type completely. But they said Christian Kirk. Jacksonville Jaguars. We obviously know he was the one who kind of jacked up the receiver market a couple of years ago when he took the Jacksonville gave him the massive deal to go down there. But smaller, speedier, down the grass type of receiver, very different than Godwin, very different than GP. Still young though. How do you feel about a guy like that potentially?
Good player. I think you got that. I think you got that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you got that. You got a couple of those like that. Like,
okay.
I think you drafted that from Michigan.
Roman Wilson. Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think you got that in that. I think you still got that in
Calvin Austin.
Punt return.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin.
Uh-huh.
I just think you got that. I think it's a couple other people. Is Scotty still in there? Scotty Miller.
I actually got to check because he's one of those ones that's been around and kind of back and forth. Yeah. Yep.
But I think that's that. Like, not even to be like that. I think that's that. Like, I think that's I think it's I think he struck at the right time. And I'm not saying he's a good receiver. His time.
We would agree. He got overpaid down there. Yeah, we would all agree.
Yeah, he was the hot name at the hot time.
Mm-hmm.
He went to a Jacksonville who was overpaying dudes. They wanted to make a splash, so he became.
They was overpaying everybody, bro. Yeah.
So I mean, if he come for once again, it's the business number. If he come for that low number, sure. Yeah. But you can't come asking for too much of anything because it's like you had that. It's no leverage over here.
Yeah, you're not getting double-digit anything over here. Not at all.
You're not even gonna get that many targets like that. Like, you're not coming to be that guy up here. You're just not gonna be that guy.
Man, so that was the thing for me because I'm like, with Christian Kirk, he was asked to do more in Jacksonville when he got down there, but obviously never lived up to it. But when I look at that role, and now I'm comparing him to the roles of Roman Wilson, who, like we said, was injured all of last year, right? We talk about Calvin Austin, who really came on last year from a production standpoint, but we still, are trying to upgrade the room. Christian was one of the dudes where I'm like, well, we've seen him have production at least in Arizona before going to Jacksonville. And then he did make plays in Jacksonville. It just didn't live up to the contract, which we say changes everything. When you get that contract, the expectations shoot up and not everybody can live up to that. But
right.
I personally was thinking like, man, just from all of that though, you got to feel a little bit more confident in what he could bring to the table production wise versus some of the other dudes that we currently have though, right?
Like who?
I mean, the dudes I named, Calvin and Roman,
No, I think that go back to it's exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only thing better than something.
It's something new. It's something new. I'm with you.
Something new.
I'm with you. I mean, this technically it's new, but it ain't new. I mean, I was out there in AZ with him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it ain't all the way new to me. I seen it, but I do get what you're saying though. It is new in the sense of it ain't been in that black and gold. But this is I'm getting you from the used car lot where it was a disaster in Jacksonville also, and I'm hoping that this new change of scenery, the way that it's been working on guys like him.
But it probably just didn't work with you.
Okay.
And that's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I can get it for cheap and it just didn't work with you, you just didn't get it to work. It's gonna work with me. No. Like because the way everybody in the world thinks is my system is the system to make it work.
I got all the answers. Come on, man. Trust me.
I'm a fix this.
Yeah, I got this. I get you right. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. I could dig that there, man. So respect on that, man. So we will see, man, when we spin the block talk again, man. Like I said, man, it's been fast paced right now in this offseason, man. Every time I look up, it's a new name, it's some type of new movement and new interests across the board. But we got Combine coming up too, all right? So we got to start talking about some of them college cats, man. What a time, man, all right?
So, start next week.
Shoot, man. No, them boys supposed to be running. Was it Thursday? I think Thursday. Yeah. They was already getting the reports.
They do the Combine different now, too. They put the big men on the back end, right?
You seen it? Yeah. They want the main people in prime time. They was like,
it's a show, man.
It
they
is.
Gotta put that speed up early. Go see that track beat down.
They say, look, bro, we cool on these O-line and D-line, bro. They ain't flying fast enough, bro. Get them up out of here.
Let's do that on the back.
Yeah. The boys gonna be in the joke with nobody watching. Be like, yeah, that's when you let the big guys run. All right, when it's prime time, fast guys on front. All right, bring the show up front.
But we can tell you about them bench pressing and all that.
Hey, it is. No, that's funny right there. Salute on that one, man. Well, shoot, man. Keep doing your thing. I know you getting them boys prepared down there in the green and the gold. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep this thing going, all right?
Barely out, man.
Hey, barely out, always we. Shout out to my dog.
Go,
Shout out to my dog, man. All right, hey, I be locked in. Just know I'm locked in, man. I be walking around, have my little Norfolk State head on. Hey, barely out, always we. Come on, man.
Barely out, always we.
Come on, man. I'm locked in with you, baby. I'm locked in with you. Come on, Coach Garvin. Yeah. So salute to you, man. Get you some rest. I know you got a big day tomorrow, man. All right, but appreciate you as always, man. My dog. Peace. All right. Shout out to Terence Garvin right there, man. If y'all was enjoying the interview, I don't even call it an interview because that's just the homie. But if you was enjoying it, man, make sure you hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Always a blast when we get a chance to catch up with my dog, my partner, Dil. Like I said, man, 14. Known that man since 2014. He seen black hoodie Moats, man, when I ain't smile all the way. You know what I mean? I was a disgruntled employee. That was Shout out to my dog. Yeah. Like I said, man, always fun, man, when you get around people that know you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He one of them dudes that know me a little bit, man. All right? Yeah. Get that up out the way. All righty. But yeah, like I said, man, TG knew disgruntled Moats. Not everybody seen disgruntled Moats, all right? He seen it. He got first row seat to that thing, man. It's like, yo, But he's seeing the villain arc, and then he's seeing where I got back to my hero mode. All right, so salute to my dog right there. But let's get it. Steelers love. I've heard some stories about Moats in his younger days. Yeah, man, I'm a different person, man. I've grown a lot throughout the years, man. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my growth. All right. Sometimes you gotta be proud of yourself. You be like, hey, bro, you've come a long way. All right, in multiple avenues of my life, all right? And sometimes, man, I'm sure for each of y'all as individuals, man, they be rocking out with the show the way that y'all do. Yeah, and it's for as long as we've been doing this show, I'm sure if y'all look back, you be like, hey, bro, we all individually done grown a lot, man. We all had some adversity, but we all done grown throughout the years, man. So salute to that growth, all right? Both as individuals and as a collective, all right? So salute to y'all, man. But let's see, man. We got one final super that popped up, so let's get that before we get up out of here. Like I said, man, always having a blast on the late nights. Like I said, so if y'all rocking out with how the late nights are, man, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. And shout out to X Concept, says Moats is a natural born killer with the heart of gold. I do try to have a heart of gold now, all right? I'm low key, man. I don't know if anybody remembers the movie The A-Team, the remake one where it had Quentin Rampage Jackson in the joint, man. Yeah, but the whole time you see him, he's like not wanting to fight. He's not wanting to be violent. He was in his like just peaceful vibe, right? He's like, I'm tired of hurting people. I'm tired of doing that bad stuff. I just want to be good now. I want to be peaceful. I'm at that stage of my life right now, all right? I try not to even listen to too much aggressive music. On occasion, I still like my music now. I still get my trap on. You know how I do. But on the majority, I'm over here like, yo, throw on some let me hear some Beethoven. Let me hear some Mozart. Let me hear some Tchaikovsky. You know what I mean? Like, get me there, okay? Like, just stay away from it, all right? I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to be a better person, all right? So shout out to y'all. Y'all help me out, though, all right? Y'all give me purpose. Give me reason. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm trying to live my best life, man. I'm trying to live right. All right, shout out to Brandon Del Toro as well, man. Peaceful, like the Punisher. Yes, just like the Punisher. Punisher ain't punished nobody until it was time to be punished. Then he got provoked and was like that, all right? John Wick just cared about his little doggy and was just chilling, all right? They all messed with Wick, then Wick had to go out there and start Wick man people, all right? Wick man, all right? So we just be trying to vibe out. I just stay in the room, all right? Talk to y'all. It'd be good, okay? Wear fly clothes. That's all I want to do. Jeez. Alrighty, but we got the homie Dondre Ezel. Shout out to Dondre Ezel, man. You've been rocking out for a while too with the channel, man. So you know the boy appreciate you. But and X Concept says, man, appreciates me. I helped him to get through the hard times. Yeah, help me get through the hard times as well, man. All the hard times, good, bad, and everything in between. All right, sometimes super hard, sometimes not so bad. All right, but either way, salute to y'all guys. All right. But Dondre Ezel says, I remember a year or two ago, we all flirted with Jair Alexander. I believe he's now available. Could you see us spinning the block? Ooh, Jair Alexander. Whew. I will say this, man, as it pertains to Jair Alexander, heck of a player, man. Heck of a player. You talk about premier, when healthy, premier man-to-man corner, man, tough as nails, follow you around. I'm playing against your number one wide receiver. He is that type of guy when healthy. When healthy, Jair Alexander is the same dude that is going to be barking at you from the time you pull up to the stadium. Like, if he sees you out there in the super duper early warm-ups, he's barking at you, man. He's in your grill. Obviously, two-time Pro Bowler, came into the league, first-round draft pick 2018 by the Packers, 18th overall out of Louisville. So, super duper high pedigree guy, right? Like I said, man, during his time in the league, man, he didn't ball it out plenty of times, man. Nice contract, stuff like that. But like I said, man, one of those premier man-to-man lockdown dudes when healthy. Now, the problem is the past 2 seasons, he hasn't been healthy, and that's largely why he's more than likely going to be available to the market, okay? Past 2 seasons, he's played 7 games, 7 starts in both of those seasons. Prior to that, though, 2022, he played in 16 games with 16 starts. He was a Pro Bowler then. But then the year before that, only 4 games, right? The year before that, the first 3 years he was healthy. 13 games, 16 starts, 15 games, 15 starts. But the problem is he just cannot stay healthy as of lately. And also he's been a 2-time second team All-Pro as well. Super productive, man. But multiple issues, not just health attitude. We obviously he's from North Carolina. I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this season, but the Green Bay Packers played against the Carolina Panthers, and my man was wild. He was pissed because he was under the assumption that since he's from North Carolina, I want to say Rocky Hill, North Carolina, he thought that he was going to be the captain before the coin toss. That wasn't what Matt LaFleur and company had planned. So he runs out there anyways, act like he was going to be a captain. It was awkward as heck. Post game, he's got shades on doing his interview. It was nuts. He talking spicy about everything. Then the team ends up suspending him for a little bit. It was just a lot of that. Now, not every coach and player get along. So I do understand that. And sometimes, as players, we could trip a little bit, right? Oh, excuse me, not Rock Hill, it was Rocky River. Shout out to that. And yes, I am very familiar with Kenneth Moses, man. Rock Hill is definitely South Carolina. Good call on that. Rocky River, North Carolina, man. But with Jair Alexander, though, it was like, man, I can get where you can have a disagreement or you can be disgruntled with your coach or coaches. But there are ways to handle it. There are ways to keep certain in-house issues in-house and not publicly embarrass or bring just controversy and noise to the locker room, man. And Jair Alexander looked like he did not care about any of that type of stuff, man. And when you have that type of player, it does make you feel a little hesitant about bringing them. A little hesitant about, how quickly we should be eager to bring that guy into a room where you have a young Joey Porter Jr., where you have a young, oh my goodness, Corey Trice. We were talking about Ryan Watts earlier. He's another young player. Like, Peyton Wilson being around. These are your guys. Is like when you start bringing a personality that's strong like Jair, because he already is a character. He's a strong personality. Like he's expressive and he doesn't lack in confidence. But if that isn't channeled the right way, you bring it around youth, it can pollute the water. So with that, as much as I'm a fan of Jair Alexander, the player when healthy, I would be very, very cautious about bringing him in right now. I don't want to commit any type of money to him, and I think that's part of the problem as well. If I don't commit too much money to him, he's going to be pissed off, and he is worth money when healthy. But the problem is he hasn't been healthy, and I think his attitude is not the best right now, and that makes me not be eager to want to bring him in there. And I think that it would hurt us more than help us, even though he's a very, very talented player. So I am going to pass on that one in terms of spinning the block on. But shout out to Jair Alexander, though, man. Jair Alexander, man, is a heck of a player. But yeah, for me right now, I think that's it's a little bit too much risk for my liking. And yeah, whenever it starts getting like that, baby, I'm good. But him and GP, bro, they would probably kill each other. I think they would try to kill each other in training camp because GP ain't going for nothing. GP got that dog in him. But I've also known Jair Alexander, man, in the peak Stephon Diggs Buffalo Bills time frame where Diggs was that top 5 and dog energy going out there barking and everything, Jair Alexander was the dude who was trying to meet him in the daggone locker room, the tunnel coming out before the game even started in his face. And then you watch how he matched up with him, and it's like, yo, Jair, man, he hold his own versus some of the top dudes and did that a lot, man, when healthy. So, like I said, that's the thing, man. If he's healthy, he's a heck of a player. But there are a lot of variables surrounding Jair Alexander that we definitely need to take our time and do our due diligence on before we fully commit to bringing a guy like him in, just from my perspective, man. But like I said, man, that's kind of how I see it with Jair. But as a whole, man, I think it was a dope little vibe we had tonight, man. I'm trying to see no other supers that have pulled up, so we do like that. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the show tonight, man. If you did, hit the like button one time for the coach, and don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. And like I said, man, we'll spin the block, man. Do this again on Wednesday, 8 p.m. the way that we've been doing, keeping it funky and loving life. All right. So with that being the case, stay safe out there. Until next time, baby. You already know. Peace.